Well, things are running a little bit late. Only a couple of minutes, mind. No intro. I do apologise. Well, I don't know about you. It's flipping hot. Yeah, well, it is here in France. It was like the UK at the moment, but it's been a lovely day. Unfortunately for our Rishi Sunak, he's a bit of, how to put it, a Mr. Whippy. Yeah, he's losing the UK's soft power. Oh, I shouldn't laugh because it's actually really serious, really. We've lost all our standing in the world. Or, like I say, it's gone a little bit soft, a little bit drippy. It's melting. Melting it is. Well, oh dear. It's all gone a bit beat on, hasn't it? Yeah, anyway, get this microphone in the right place. Let's get that. That's better, I think. I don't know what's going on there with this thing microphone. Oh, anyway, it's there. All right, anyway, who we got here at the moment? And I see we've got 22 people here already. Oh, that can't be bad. I do apologise for running a bit late, but you know me. And I hope I got sound. So I'm going to go do a sound check because I know what will happen. Yeah, Top Smoke, if he's there, he'll end up telling me he's, sound check. There's no sound or something, wind me up. Anyway, who we got here at the moment? Oh, yeah, there's sound. I see. Yeah, we've got sound. That's a good start. Okay, so let's get to it, shall we? Anyway, who we got? Anyway, so we got. Let's go to the top. Well, I saw Peter Dallas was there, my friend, and myself. Yeah, all shortsies there as well. David McGuinness, evening, Marcus, evening to you too. Oh, okay. And Joel, hello, Marcus, Peter Dallas, David McGuinness, and hey, Mad Monk. Hope you're well, my friend. I got two moderators. I got Peter Dallas, and I got Mad Monk 33. Oh, well, and Chatty Rat, and and so Larry the Cat, 91 leads. Everyone, hello there, and hello everybody, he says. As I say he says, I don't know. Should I just say person? The person says, because I don't know. No. Bertie Coo, hello there. We bring power. Power to the people. Scroll down, David McGuinness. Done that already. I have. Vertigo says, Joel must be related to sewerage or diarrhea. I don't know what the conversation is, but there you go. UK soft power, what is that? Some kind of no Brexit win. Oh, yeah, of course it is. You know, it's Brexit. There's all these Brexit dividends that we have been very lucky to, not just witness, but to all feel the soft power of. Well, the soft power is, one
of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
Yeah, pretty much. So, scrolling down. I better speed up. Hey, Derek, already, hope you're well. It's been a tad tropical in Ireland. Yes, tad tropical here too. It's muggy. And Peter Stewart, good evening all. Good evening to you too. And just saying, hope you're well. Hello all. And Brian McGurk. How do you pronounce that? McGurk? and Rab Nori. Hit it. It might be hot, but you're looking cool, Michael. Thank you very much. That's kind of you, yes. And Tom says 55, and says good evening all. Good evening to and Casper Northern. Hi. Hello to everybody. And Virgo so. Hola. Well, Rishi Sunak's been swanning about anyway, his little jet and that, and trying to be all important while these doing all that. It's all looking a bit beat on. And he's managed to, he's one step closer to Singapore on the Thames, since he just signed up some strange agreement. Yeah, apparently with Singapore. I bet you're all excited. Are you all excited? Are you excited? Oh, that's the wrong one. That one. Yeah. The UK agrees new strategic partnership with Singapore. Yeah. So the Prime Minister has signed a new strategic partnership with Singapore to grow the UK's economy and enhance shared security. Well, I wonder what that's got to do with. I wonder. Well, the thing I'm interested in is what's been going on over here. Yeah. Rishi Sunak has been ostracised. I should be flippant. Sized. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I can't say it. I'll get struck off again. I'm getting a bit used to being struck off. Yeah, getting strikes now on YouTube. I ain't had one for a while, you know. This must be a record for me. Yeah. Well, Rishi Sunak is avoiding the UN summit after being warned about potential rejection. I reject you, Sunak, I do. Because you're a crook. That's what you are, Rishi Sunak. Yet no one seems to say it. I don't get it. I was listening to Matt Fry on LBC Radio and said, well, Rishi Sunak's doing quite well. Yeah, he's worked quite hard, I suppose, and doing this, that, and the other, he says. Words to that effect. And I thought, what? He's ripping us all off. He's stealing our money, giving it to his missus. And his rest of his family, his extended family, mother and father-in-law, and his uncles and Tata and all that. So yes, Rishi Sunak is a crook. Sorry, just say it as I see it. Well, he's a Tory, I suppose. So, the PM risked embarrassment of being downgraded. Yes, it's quite short-minded, I suppose. Yes, status. If the UN deemed the UK's climate policies are lacking ambition. See, the thing is, you see, what they're saying? They're saying is that, so we will have net zero policies. But it's like anything, isn't it? You know, so you can talk the talk, but you can walk the walk. And they keep cutting back on all the environmental policies and, yeah, and funding. Like your boilers and stuff. Air source heat pumps, that's it. Air source heat pumps. Don't know how well they work in the UK, mind, but here you go. So, yeah, back in we go. So, it says here, you see, that Rishi Sunak was warned. So let's just make it a little bit bigger so you can see. I'm kind like that, you see. Yeah. Think about you, I do, yeah. So Rishi Sunak was warned that he faced exclusion from key discussions on the, climate among world leaders at the UN before he decided to snub. Yeah, snub. Oh, how dare he. A global summit later this month. He was going to be made to look a little bit silly. Well, it was announced last month that Sunak would be the first Prime Minister in a decade to avoid attending the annual UN General Assembly gathering of world leaders. It's a bit surprising since Biden's going to be there. You think you would be there, wouldn't you? You can have a cup of tea with him or something, can't you? In some dodgy cafe somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, the reason given was his busy schedule. Sorry, it's silly. His busy schedule. What's he going to? Was he going to go and sort of walk around some school where the ceiling's all caving in just to prove that it's safe while he's dodging the rocks? Maybe. Well, the reason given was his busy schedule, but the Guardian, yes, the Guardian, yes, it's in the Guardian, has learned that turning up risked severe embarrassment for the Prime Minister. This is also in the Financial Times, that it is. Well, the UN Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres, has called on the world leaders to attend his climate ambition summit. I think I'm peaking on my microphone, aren't I? Is that a bit loud, that microphone? Let's get it down. Okay, here we go. Yeah, how's that? Testing, 1, 2, 3. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Yeah, I think that's better. Well, anyway, so the UN Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres, has called the world leaders to attend his climate ambitions summit. On the sidelines of this year's UN General Assembly meeting, and leaders of the world's biggest economies, including Joe Biden, if he's still alive by then, we'll see, of the US. Well, they are expected to go there, but Guterres has stipulated that only countries that show they have ambitious policies to reduce their emissions in line with the goals of the Paris Agreement, well, would be allowed to participate in the Climate Ambition Summit. Well, the segment of the meeting of the world leaders dedicated to the climate crisis. I wonder if Joe Biden's going to have 20 cars with him this time. Anyway, so the world leaders received letters from the UN last month, making these terms clear. The Guardian understands. Ooh. I'm reading The Guardian. Does it make me a part of the wokerati? I think so. Also in the Brabham, she'll know. Oh, they were told that merely having net zero targets would not be sufficient to guarantee participation. No, like I say, you got to walk the walk. And evidence of clear, ambitious policy measures that the commitments was needed. Talk about walk the walk. What walking the plank at Count Binface was suggesting that all the lying politicians, when they lie, they have to walk the plank into the Thames. I think that's a brilliant policy. Should be in the manifesto. Yes. Anyway, without these, countries could attend but not participate in the discussions. Oh, how embarrassing. Well, the Climate Ambition Summit will take place at the UN headquarters in New York on the 20th of September, after heads of state and government meet for general talks on the 18th and the 19th of September. Wow. The UK government has caused, consternation in capitals around the world by seeming to waver on its commitments to net zero emissions. Yeah, they keep backtracking, don't they? And the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. You see, this is Brexit, you see. It gives you control, you see, of your laws. Yeah, not the borders, obviously, but we know that one. Yeah, okay, that's all gone a bit tippy-top. I'll backtrack on that one myself, I think. That's a U-turn. So Sunak's decision over the summit to max out the North Sea by licensing new oil and gas fields. It raised eyebrows, it did. Oh, well, like Dennis Healey. Raised eyebrows among many countries and climate diplomats. We've got Dennis Healey now. It would be Andy Burnham now, wouldn't it? With his caterpillar eyebrows. I wonder if he can make them wiggle. Anyway, so Sunak would risk falling foul of the UN Secretary General's strict stipulations if he were to attempt to participate in the climate segment. Well, the potential embarrassment he faced throws a new light on his decision not to attend the UN General Assembly. Oh, anyway, before we continue. Oh, it's all getting exciting, this is. Oh, it's all so exciting. I want to see what you have to say. Oh, I don't know. It shouldn't make me tickle, but it does make me tickle. I'd love us all to go green. Greeny green. I mean, really green. I mean, take this global warming lark really, really seriously. So things actually happen now. Not wait until like 2050 or 2150. Would it be 20? Whatever it is. Anyway, a long time. Maybe we won't get that young Swede. Is she Swedish? Anyway, I've got a name now. Oh my God, I lose my mind. Flippin' hell. That's what it does to you, this lark, you know. That's Brexit, you see. Yeah. I've been affected by Brexit. I hear lots of people getting affected by COVID as well at the moment. The new strain, which is getting a little bit, interesting, and considering no one's getting vaccinated at the moment. But that's the same in France. Unless you've got a, potential, how to put it, condition. Yeah, you can't get your vaccine now. Yeah, and unless you're a pensioner. So, anyway, what we got over here? What are you lot saying over here? What are you all saying? Oh. So, scroll up a little bit. Evening, monks. Or have I done that bit already? Let's go down a bit, up a bit, down a bit. I'm on live. Oh, top chat, live chat. Back to live chat. That'll be better. There we go. All right, I keep forgetting about that, don't I? Yeah, I'll get told, I will. I've probably already been told, haven't I? I will be surprised. Kool-Aid, hello, my friend. Tories don't get tasered. Hello there, too. Oh, didn't see you there. Apparently now's a good time to insert ads. Oh yes, let me warn you, I will have no control whatsoever on the ads coming this November. No control. As you know, I don't like to put mid-roll ads into my videos. No, I don't mind the beginning or the end, but I don't want them in the middle. Well, come November, YouTube's removing our ability to do that, because I opt out of it, you see, at mid-roll ads or skip-roll ads in the middle of the videos. I don't want them, because I think that, it ruins the videos. Don't like it. No. So, but I'm very sorry, but I can't do nothing about it, because they removed it. They tried to make it like it's going to be better, but, you know what it's like when they do that, don't they? It sounds like a bit like a Tory kind of, how to put it back. No, it's justification, a Tory justification for something, which clearly is going to make it worse. What they say is going to make it better, but it's bollocks. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, YouTube. Team YouTube. I do apologise, but that's not true. I think you're fibbing to us. I do. So, yes, I had the email, and, but yeah. Like everybody else who does YouTube. Anyway, so I can't do about it. So I do apologise, nothing I can do. So, Vendetta, hello there. Sunak's only ambition is to nick as much of our money as possible. I think the old coppers are running dry, aren't they? He's borrowed as much money as he possibly can, and so, well, I suppose he could borrow more. You know, it's like anything, you've got to have security. If you haven't got security, the cost of borrowing goes up anyway. Even for a country. bonds and all that. So, can we throw all Tories into the sea? Please. With sharks. That's what we want. We want sharks with frickin' lasers on them. That's what we want. What film is that referencing? Anyway, you can imagine this is the kind of film that I like. Anyway, so, the sound is okay. Oh, excellent. Thank you very much. Even so, my squeaky, horrid Norfolk voice. So I do apologise. I can't do anything about it. But I think my thyroid is trying to sort it for me. Hi, Casper, Simon Says, and just saying. Oh, this is Mad Monk 33. So scrolling down, down, coming down, even all. Mad Monk 33 says, if you wish to support all shorts, please do. Yeah, buy me coffee or become a Patreon. Yeah, links down below. You want to become a member if you like. Oh, can we like? What's he said? Saturday is provisionally the hottest day of the year so far, with 32.7 degrees Celsius recorded in Heathrow. Oh my god, yeah, it's gonna create all that shrinkage in that concrete, that rack concrete they found in Heathrow Airport and Gatwick Airport. Yeah, it's all going to collapse on their heads now. So yeah, okay, thanks. That's a new record for the UK. Is it one to celebrate, or is it one just to sweat? So Larry the Cat says, oh, me too. Oh, no, Simon says to Sir Larry the Cat, me too. Did more sitting than working today. Yeah, very, very hot and sweaty. It's been very hot and sweaty here. What we do here, you see, in France, we have shutters. And we open one side of the house up, which is on the north side, where the sun isn't baking it, and we basically vegetate there. And the other side of the house, we cover up with all the shutters and stuff, and help keep the house cooler. And then night times we just do what we do, you just open and close your shutters to suit. It's a bit of a pain, but, it's just one thing, isn't it? It does help, though. Hello, Derek. I hope you're well. Yes, there are C&A Hair and Lux. Well, C&A in the UK went bankrupt several years ago. Oh, crikey. What was the name of the clothing brand? Was it Candy or something? Something like that. Anyway, they went, kaput in the UK. Years ago, but we've got C&A Hair in France. Actually, there's one in Limoges, which is there's a shopping mall called Saint Marcel, and there's a C&A in there. I get C&A ads, says Kool-Aid. Oh, Marcus will have to downsize to a Thomas moped. What? Why have I got downsized to a Thomas moped? Well, them little funny things. Oh, I don't mind one actually. They have a thing here called the French version of that hair, which would be the mobile, and they look like the old Solus, where they had a little engine on top of the front wheel. But the mobile had a little engine where you expect it to be, and pedals as well. Yeah. But why would I have a Thomas? Thomas. Yeah, I got my 1400. Yeah, if I could go all environmental, I suppose really that's what I should be doing. Actually, I would love to be able to get a electric bike. I'd hardly ever use the car then. I really would, because we don't use it hardly ever anyway, to be fair. But apart from picking people up from the airport or going to the shops, because everyone's far away. But we'd go on the bike, to pick bits and pieces up. The amount of times you go in the flipping car just to pick up something silly, either you could get on the push bike or Karen sometimes does on the moped, what have you. Yeah, but I'd like an electric bike. Plus, we can charge it up yourself for solar panels. I would actually get more solar panels in, I think. Scrolling down. Like one of these says, that's sad, but that 20, that's amazing. Hi, Thomas and Lefty. Oh, got Lefty Boater, have we? Lefty Boater. Hello, Lefty Boater. I hope you're well. I'm here, and lurking on your boat. I hope your canal is lovely and clean. And Derek already says, how many more generations going forward will be paying the debt? Very valid point. Remember, we've got no growth, and the GDP has been taken over by the debt. So how are we going to pull ourselves out of this? We are treading water in the UK. We're treading water, and we're sinking fast. Mark's on a C5. Oh my giddy aunt, what, a Sinclair C5? But those things are worth money now, aren't they? Crikey. But I think that's upgraded with a lithium battery, though. I think, yeah. That would be quite funny going around a C5. With a little trailer on the back. I have L and R on my socks, and C and A are on my pants. What? We really need to know that. Hello, Shrade. Shaka. Shay Arcade. Shay Arcade? Oh, I don't know. Here in the Czech Republic, they are trying to cut all ties with Russia. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Russia in a minute, because we're talking about the environment, sort of, and Rishi Sunak's soft power. This is all connected, you see. So, yes. Oh, crikey. So, interesting. So, the Czech Republic, they are trying to cut all ties with Russia. Good. And also, who was ours? Was that Austria's criticising the EU at the moment regarding, they call it blood money, but wasn't that Zelensky who criticised pretty much everybody for that, still buying Russian gas and what have you? It's basically funding the war in Ukraine. And now you've got Elon Musk has turned off Starlink, so now they can't navigate their equipment or drones and stuff like that. And the underwater drones that are blowing up those ships in the sea, actually. So, I'm interested to actually know what how you feel about that. Do you think Elon Musk is it's obviously in his rights to do it, but do you think maybe the US government should confiscate it? I don't know, apprehend it, or force them to turn it back on? Don't know. Tax the hell out of them or something. I don't know, something like that. Do you think Elon Musk did the right thing, or is it the wrong thing? I'll be interested to know. Hello, Ezra Steinberg. Hope you're well. Because his reason was that Ukraine's been on the offensive, so they've been going into Russia with drones, and he says he's worried about a World War III. I don't buy it. E-bike, great for a trip to the shops, about 20 miles, almost did for me. Ordinary bike would not have. You managed 5 miles. The thing about the e-bikes now, electric bikes, is they're assisted, so you can still pedal on them and stuff. So, there's a blink in the hill, which might be the thing that, like, for instance, come out of my house here. First thing you do is you go up a hill. It puts you off on a bike, especially when you've lost, got a bit, how to put it, a little bit rubbery. Yeah, not quite so energetic. Plus, I've got problems at the moment anyway. So there we go. Muskrat is muskrat. It's a knob with too much power. Yeah. Muskrat. Oh, the Vicar. Hello, the Vicar. Hope you're well. Hi, everyone. Bless you all. Bless you too. And prayers, confessions, and blessings are only $52 per person tonight. Get your requests in quick. What? Very good. Thank you for that. The US should take it off them. I kind of agree. I think so. Not unless they take it off them, but force them to turn it back on, or try and convince them somehow. The problem with Elon Musk is he's actually got too much power. The damage he can cause is just unreal. The Netherlands are just fine with supporting Shell. Yeah. And the UK is just fine with supporting BP and allowing Infosys to provide services to BP while they're still operating in Russia. 1.6 billion, wasn't it? Something like that. Oh yeah, while Rishi Sunak was still offering out fresh licenses for platforms in the North Sea. Great, eh? I think the US government should take Starlink into national ownership and merge it with NASA. That'd be a nice thing to do, but I can't see that happening. They can't just take it. Could they do it first, like a forced purchase of it or something? Could they just put Elon Musk's Elon Musk in the stocks? And force him to change his mind by throwing, rotten cabbages and maybe rotten lettuces at him. Maybe.
That is a disgrace.
You know how it goes. Don't you? She keeps rearing her ugly head, she does. I think she'd be carrying in shame the damage she's caused. Even her own hospital has been held up with acro props because of that rack concrete. Okay, long merge it with NASA. Germany is a special case with so many Russians in. That's a good point, actually. There's many Russians in Germany and ties with German politicians. BASF lobbied the government for more Russian gas. What are they doing at Nord Stream 2 now. Nord Stream 2? The one that was going to go live. Did they go live in the end, did it? He decided, the German guy, the Chancellor, he decided no. He said no. Yeah. After they just finished it and said, no, we're not going to use it. We'll use it for something else. I don't know what. Maybe trips or something. Maybe like you travel in tubes. Something like that. I don't know. Could be a tourist attraction to Russia. Could be like a hyperlink. No, why would you go to Russia at the moment? No, don't do it. Don't do it. So Vendetta. Okay. If he was worried about World War III, he'd not be taking orders from Putin. Good point. That's what it feels like, doesn't it? He is a bit palliative. He respects Putin. Just like Steven Seagal. You know, he loves Putin and all, doesn't he? He's a Putin lover. You know, Mr. Karate Kid geezer, you know him. He kind of flaps his arms about and everyone just falls over. So I'm sure they're staged. Although I know he's a martial arts expert, but crikey, he does look like he's like... Yeah, it doesn't look right to me. There's something not quite right there. He just got... Yeah. Musk will repent in many years to come. Repent, Mr. Musk. Repent. Independently of my opinion on his attitude, but he is just a trader, not as relevant as you think he is. He's got too much power. I think he's got way too much power. He is relevant. He definitely is relevant. He's got a huge following as well. You think the power he's got just with Twitter? You know? Oh, Twitter. What do you do now? What do you eeks now? That's X. Do you eeks? This is like you don't retweet anymore. It's like repost. How boring is that? Repost. Retweeting was fun. Little birdie and that and all. You know, I like birds. Birdie Bird says. So the Ukraine has been getting access to the US military communication system as Musk is owned by Russia. Well, I imagine even US security system services would be getting involved as well. USA government is paying Ukraine Starlink bill and thus paying 100% or 400% more than a normal person. Yeah, a good point though, isn't it? Yeah, for his own heart and that. He's a good person. Yeah, but no, it's about money, isn't it? It's a good tester as well for his Starlink, isn't it? And a good advert. Other people are signed up, probably because of the basis of what's been going on in Ukraine. I know people here in France, in the sticks here, have signed up for Starlink. It's a bit pricey though. You got for the installation. Whereas my fibre that was free installation here once that came in, which is good. Hello, Peter Moore, I hope you're well. And Steve McGowan, Peter Moore, I know. Oh, Peter McGowan, make it. Okay. Well, the Russians are voting Conservative, and there's a very Conservative party fishing for them. I talked with the Russian oligarchs, and the German economy is preparing to get rid of Russian ties, too. Even the BASF. Oh, now I get you. Oh, is he a megalomaniac? He thinks that Muskrat is a megalomaniac. I love that word. What was the giant shark thing? Was it a megaloman or megaloman? Oh, anyway, it's a big shark. It was in a film I watched. Dodgy film, but it's a film. Vendetta says, Seagal's a jiu-jitsu guy. Oh, yes, Seagal's a jiu-jitsu guy. My friend does jiu-jitsu. I think it's jiu-jitsu. It's all about using the opposition's body weight. Yeah, he kind of like pushed them out of the way and stuff. He's my size. This guy does websites for me. We used to, and you can't get past him. His arms are looking all over the place. He just pushes you out of the way, but he'll push you. He just deflects you. He used to go to a place in Aix-sur-Vienne as a club there. They were even operating during COVID. A bit naughty, isn't it? Musk has been played by a former Russian GRU agent, just like Trump. I didn't know that, if that's true. It's interesting. I wonder who he is. He lost 40. It cost him 44 billion to buy Twitter, and it's now only valued around 15 billion. Yeah. He even brought the kitchen sink. Well, he said I've even brought the kitchen sink. He obviously doesn't know what a kitchen sink is because he brought in a basin. You know, but you have in your bathroom. Silly man. The Dutch came to England to drain the Cambridgeshire and Lincolnshire and Norfolk fens for farming using windmills. Yes, and they still exist in Norfolk, the remnants of them. If you go down the Aigle Strait towards Great Yarmouth, you will see them down the remnants. So, and there's also some old wind pumps that you go around and look around at. The Dutch getting high-powered electric pumps replaced in the last century. Yeah. Marcus Musk relevant. What if the EU and the US and a couple more countries sanction his activity and dissemble his monopoly? Money talks, but a jackboot rules. Well, yeah, that ain't gonna happen though, is it? Oh, I can't see it. I want my brakes. Bird Nest Ratfest says, I want my brainix. What's it? Braix? I don't know what that is. Steve Bray? I don't know. Oh, dear. It was heavy sarcasm. Okay. It was one to who? The Dutch game. Okay, fair enough. Fair dues. USA government used to people like Musk, like Howard Hughes. Yeah, nothing. No, good point. Oh, crikey. You want a kipper, do it? Okay, here comes a kipper.
Kipper.
Oh, see, the kippers still exist. I don't have any little ice pillows. I do apologise for that. Who's at incapacity? British people are some of the least work-focused in the world. Definitely not as organised as the Germans, I must say. And the survey finds only a fifth of the Britons think their careers should come first in their lives in the study. I think our family should come first, to be fair. People should come first. Everything else should follow. Unless that one thing actually allows you to do that, I suppose. But people become too work focused and they end up not taking care of their families. And the problem in the UK is you don't have no real working time directive, and also your 35 hours is the maximum working week here in France for an individual. Unless you're obviously self-employed, but then you do what you like. Research also found millennials have become more sceptical about prioritising work. It's about lifestyle now, isn't it? I understand that. My son came over, who's works in the museum service, and although he's a Labour voter, he was you could say that he was a bit of a Corbynite at one time, and now he's gone a bit centre ground. You know, I think he's just desperate for Labour to get in. But it's almost become a little bit more conservative as well, it seems, which is not my elder son at all. And he's going on about that because on the north coast there's a beach there where you get all the hippies come along and they sort of like camp the night and stuff like that. And the wasters, he's going, what? I said, that doesn't sound like you, Wayne. Freedom and all that, you know. We caught some cars with German number plates on them with a Z stickers. Oh, blimey, really? I had a rollover. One had a rollover while parked, and the other was found burned in a field. Good. Now, I don't know if you heard, but it sounds like the Brexiters, yes, the Brexiters, they might be right. Sorry. I had to say this, because it looks like the German car industry is coming to our rescue. I might show you a little bit of that in a moment. I'm not kidding. I did not like it being doing Chinese martial arts since I was 7, and I've done karate and judo too. Yep, brown belt. Judo, a long time ago, mind. Kido is effective, but that's a Kido that he does, not jiu-jitsu. That's what my friend does, Andy. But jiu-jitsu is energy wasteful, in my opinion. That's because they wave their arms about too much. Derek Mulready says, who? The land in Norfolk, obviously replying to who, land in Norfolk that the Dutch helped drain dropped 15 feet and it's still dropping a couple of inches each year. It's a massive problem in Norfolk. Now, when I was going to, when I was at Great Yarmouth College for a while, they keep moving this about, you see, because they're rebuilding the bricklaying colleges in Old City College. Anyway, so we were at Great Yarmouth for a bit. Anyway, going down, we used to go down Great Yarmouth Straight loads of times anyway. But I was going down the Great Yarmouth Straight, usually, early in the morning, so the sun's straight in your flipping eyes, it is. So you can't see anything, and you accidentally, you hit the car in front because when it just stops. Yeah, I did that. I used to drive a Nissan four-wheel drive, a Nissan Patrol. I think it was 3 litre Nissan Patrol. I loved that car. Absolutely loved that car. I did tow a trailer and stuff. I used it for work, so I wasn't one of these school type people. You go to schools and pick their kids up in the, in a 4-wheel drive. But yeah, anyway, I lost my boat. So I was going down there, and I couldn't stop in time because I didn't see all the traffic in front of me just stopped suddenly because the sun was in my eyes. And I bashed the back of this, as a Ford Mondeo. Ripped his bumper off. Well, I don't know, it wasn't a huge amount. I just pushed the bumper. I just stopped just in time into his bumper. So, it's one of them things that. Oh, but anyway, my point was, driving down there, the either side where you have all the vents and what have you, wetlands, and you get the cattle and what have you on there, but often it'd be literally just like a road going down like the Acle Strait towards Great Yarmouth, and effectively just water either side of you. And because it's quite high, you see, because you got the railway and whatever goes up there and that as well. So obviously it's kept quite high. So yeah, basically it's like you're going down all these little roads going through the sea to get to little islands somewhere. It's a bit like that, Yarmouth could quite easily be lost to the sea. We've already got the coastline disappearing, and because the rules state that the value of the land must not exceed the cost of the actual sea defences. I don't understand how you don't put a value on your land. Shouldn't it be priceless? I'm not talking about individuals' land. I'm just talking about the country. We're losing lumps off the country. I mean, you might not know this. Cromer used to be 2 miles inland, and now it's on the coast. Been claimed by the sea. Little place called Eccles on the east coast of Norfolk. It's not there anymore. It's under the sea. And not so much now, but you used to be able to hear the church bell at certain tides. And at low tides, the actual burial ground, the burial ground at the churchyard, would become uncovered. You get to see all the low tides, but about February sort of time. Certain low tides, you could see all the skeletons and stuff. It's quite eerie, I'll tell you. But yeah, it's quite a funny place. Yeah. Anyway, it's the UK. It's not just got soft power; it's decreasing in size, physical size. Yeah, it's disappearing. Yeah. I'm shrinking. Oh, okay. Birdnest Breakfast says, "Would you think what you would think after creating apartheid state in Palestine, England would know its place now? You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? Maybe. Ask Marcus what his bank account and sort number is. What? Are you installing Windows right now? No? What? No? Well, is there a problem? I hope not. Abnori says, note wrong with wasps. What? Note wrong with wasps. They sting you. I got stung several times years by wasps. Main of our politicians chew a mouthful of wasps while giving a pro-Brexit speeches. Now, that would be funny. Hello, number 3. I hope you're well, my friend. We're talking about the environment and soft power and Mr. Whippy, the Prime Minister. Yeah. In fact, we're losing soft power around the world, you see, because we've been ostracised. Ostracised we have by the UN Summit for Climate. If karma does indeed exist, some people will surely become extinct while believing they are powerful upon the earth. Oh, they'll become a bit of a dodo. So, Birdnet Rustfest, they're doing the same. Yes, I would say they are. Someone made war and killing their livelihood. Yes. Russians have a terrible habit of not being able to listening to no. I hate to say this, but I've had different experience with Russians and what have you, and I've always found them to be extremely rude. I don't want to stereotype, but it was the case. I'm sure that's not all of them, obviously not. Can't be. It's just the ones I've met. I haven't met that many, but I've met a few. Austin Reynolds says, with respect, do you guys ever consider the amount of propaganda and dishonest media around subjects like Russia, China, Trump, etc.? You seem to believe everything you're told. No, don't know. I tend to have a little bit of how to protect. I look everywhere. Do you know what? Mr. Austin Reynolds. Sometimes it's better to chew on what you disagree with, and that door swings both ways. Marcus, someone asked your age earlier. Oh, I see. So we're trying to gather more information to access your bank account. Oh, I see. I get you. Yeah. I was born in 1970, just so you know. Oh, my giddy aunt, I got to get into my bank account. Good luck with that one. I got no money. Literally. You think I'm kidding? Oh, crikey. Skin. There you go. Although I do have a mortgage. I don't have no debt and stuff like that, so we're okay, really. Africa is saying, yes, Joel Maron, kicking out the Europeans. Africa's been taken over by China. China actually owns 6% of Africa. Like in Nigeria and Congo and places like that. I read Bristol peeps are being fined for log fires. They are banning them, aren't they, in some places? They're going smoke free. I need to get back into this, don't I? I do. Just a second. Just trying to keep up with you guys as well. Jasper, hello there, my friend. Hope you're well. Which is worse, log fires or aircraft? Good point. Yeah. Only thing is, you are talking about large numbers of log fires. Well, there's quite a few airplanes as well. There are alternatives. I don't know if there's alternatives to flying other than getting on a train, but there's some people who have had to put it, are time poor. Mother Maiden's name, please. No. No. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. You know what? You probably noticed me. I do kind of wear my heart on my sleeve a bit, and I will not lie. I will not. I made my mind up, but more so recently, actually, it's kind of instilled it. It started when my brother-in-law, he was, I say he's a sociopath, he is a sociopath, and basically he believed his own lies. And what? That's not true. So what he said yesterday, it's that kind of thing. I thought, sod this. Quickly instilled in my head, this is probably 15, 20 years ago, and basically instilled in my head that, you've always got to remember you lie. It's not a good idea lying, is it? You get caught out, then everybody thinks everything comes out your mouth is just a lie. What's the point of that? There's none whatsoever. It's stupid. Just don't lie. It's like these Tories constantly lying in Parliament, using parliamentary privilege, but everybody watching knows full well that they're lying. Again and again and again. And people don't want to vote for these Tories on the basis of them being liars. All the ones that had any kind of morals, either half dead or they're being kicked out anyway. Yeah, Ken Clark the other day. My God, he's looking old. I think he's starting to look older than Heseltine. I think it's all the booze, isn't it? That's what it is. It's all the free drink that we pay for. So, what's your favourite pet's name? Oh, I give you up. They're still at it. There's no point gaining access. I might as well just give it to you because there's nothing in it. They're trying to gain access to my bank account. God's sake. Who's spraying this metal particles into the sky, causing haze and sun-blocking geoengineering? Yes, I know who that is. It's Mexico. Is it Mexico or Brazil? Trying to get the rain. Yeah. I did a video about this a while back, actually. That's the only reason I know. I think that's what you're talking about. They're going up the airplanes and spraying all these, like, ionized particles or something into the clouds, trying to get the clouds. What happens, apparently, all the water particles that are dispersed, like a mist, all come together and create droplets. That's the kind of scientific theory about it. And then the water becomes heavy and it drops out of the clouds. Causes rain. They're going to steal our rain. That's what they're going to do. So, yeah. Like a bit like Emperor Ming. You remember Emperor Ming? Emperor Ming? Let's remember Emperor Ming. What film reference is that? Anyway, the Tories are a criminal organisation. It's not a party. Most definitely. Hello, Gildy. Yes, most definitely. The Tories are most definitely criminal. After all, they keep stealing our money. Literally. And getting away with it. No, it was dog food. Okay. Anyone like school dinners? Here in France, probably. In the UK, probably not. They get flipping salmon here at our school. My little granddaughters, you go to the schools here, and just not far from Chalou. get salmon. They get mussels. They get real food. It's not all covered in like monosodium glutamate battery type stuff. Yeah, don't do that crap. The United Arabian Emirates. Oh, they're doing rain seeding as well, are they? Oh, I read it somewhere they're doing it in Brazil or Mexico or somewhere, trying to get it to rain. Because obviously the crops aren't growing. Having a black and white vision of the world turns you blind to what is happening, and we fall into the narrative of a septic or a conspiracy theory that I don't do conspiracy theories. I just don't do. I don't. Sometimes you might get railroads into them, so to speak, or kind of sucked into them because they have some element of logic behind them, maybe. But some of them are just so ridiculous. Absolutely mad, aren't they? Some of these conspiracy theories. They make no sense whatsoever. So, Olsen Reynolds says, Peter, WMDs, Trump is Putin's puppet, and Corbyn is anti-Semitic. I think Corbyn was targeted. I really do. I'm no Corbyn, don't get me wrong. I think Corbyn was bad for Labour Party because Labour's never going to get voted in with Corbyn at the helm. This wasn't going to happen. Hunter's laptop is a Russian state. Oh my God, what's going on there? Russian state disinformation. All proven lies. They are conspiracy theories. Oh, I get you now. Sorry. Trump is Putin's puppet. I don't know. Oh, I think Trump probably is. What about the golden showers? What about the golden showers? And Charlie Epstein apparently had a video. According to Ghislaine Maxwell. Or was it just her way of trying to... if I give him a little bit, how do I put it? Yeah, a little teaser. Maybe they'll let me off. The Chinese did it during the Olympics, so it rained before reaching the events. Oh, okay. Interesting. Did it work? Back in the 1990s, I started as a children librarian and teaching online safety. Nowadays, it is the bloody adults that are an issue, especially with passwords and not following online safety. I think online safety is not just a bit of an issue. I think it's a minefield. It's almost impossible to deal with because as soon as you manage to deal with something and sort something out, or you buy some software or whatever, they've come up with something to counter it. A new Trojan horse, some more phishing or whatever. A bit of software you accidentally download it, go onto a website or something. Yeah. Cloaking. I think it's blooming hard. No, I'm serious. I've got another old PC here. I'm seriously considering using that just for my downloads. Because I had some malware on my computer yesterday. I went live yesterday and there was malware on there. Because I was going all glitchy. The screens weren't working properly and my mouse was going all jittery. And when I tried to drag the pages across, like the windows went across, they were like going back again. Something was going on there. So anyway, I did a refresh and scans and stuff. I got live scanning on there as well, so I don't know why I didn't find it. So... do you have amnesia, Marcus? Corbyn not within a whisker of winning in 2017, and it was after that the right-wing press started the character assassination. It was... yeah, he did, yes. And also, he nearly slapped his deputy on the boobie. He did. Yeah, just stop just in time. Yeah. He was a bit excited, he was, at that, yeah, when the votes were coming in. I haven't got a problem with Corbyn. I think he's been, it's a character assassination. I think he's a fool, but I think it was a character assassination. He ain't as bad as they make him out. I don't think so. His brother, on the other hand, Piers Corbyn, oh my Gideon, he's a nutter. China, although silver iodide. Oh, that's it, silver iodide. That's it. That's the thing I was thinking about. Oh, cheers, Madbank33. Well, peeps, I'm off to work, so be nice to the remaining mods. Oh, I will. Like always. Love you. And a great evening, and hope to see you all again soon. No, my friend. Have a good time at work. Ta-ta. Well, anyway, I'm not going anywhere, so no, not yet. Anyway, I'll get back into the chat. Yeah, it's quite active. I like it being active. I do like the chat. It's nice to see people's opinions. You know, you don't have to agree, do we? Just, you know, of course we don't. No one's ever going to agree on everything, are they? You know, look at Brexit. 52% I didn't agree with of the voting public who voted during the referendum results. I was thinking to myself actually, you ponder sometimes, you think about stuff. And I was thinking to myself, crikey, got to get real with this. You know, I can't see us rejoining anytime soon. I'd love us to, obviously. You know, I voted against it, so why wouldn't I want us to rejoin the European Union? I think it's absolutely crazy what's happened. But also I'm a realist as well, so I feel well it's unlikely to happen anytime soon. I have talked about this before on several occasions, so I think it's got to try and make the most of it. All I can really do is, my part is kind of, I don't know, expose the fact that it's bleak shit. Sorry, but it is. There's nothing good come out of it. All these benefits of Brexit, nothing good has come out of it. Crikey. Just nuts, isn't it? Jacob Rees-Mogg, I think he might have been lying. And there ain't no.
They're now British fish and they're better and happier fish.
They're not happy. No, actually that's too low. Let's do it again. There you go.
They're now British fish and they're better and happier fish for it.
Yeah, apparently so, but I don't buy it either. No. I think he might have lied. Don't you? Well, okay. So where was it? Let's get back into this one, because there's a further point regarding these wind turbines. So we'll just scroll down a bit. We got up to this bit. You know, I don't know if I've been bothering him actually. You know, James not so cleverly. You know him, the guy with it looks like. I'll tell you what he looks like. I'm just going to find a picture for you. Yeah. Let's just find a picture for you. This is what I think James Cleverly, his alter ego is. Yeah. Okay. Action. Oh, cricket. I'm on caps lock. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Images. Okay. Oh, I found him. This is definitely. I'm sure it is. Absolutely positive it now. Open the tab. There we go. This is James Cleverly. Yeah. I actually had this Action Man as a kid. I can't remember that metal bit in its neck. I can't remember that at all. Why has he got a metal bit in his neck? Is he had one of them procedures? Yeah. Was it like anaphylactic shock or something? While he's out sailing? Maybe. And they had to do, I can't remember what the procedure's called now. But anyway, I'm losing my flipping mind. I am. There you go. That's what happens when you do this, luck. Go a little bit loopy. I bet it make you feel better. So, anyways, where were we? James Cleverly. That's where we were. Okay, so the Foreign Secretary, James Cleverly, and the Deputy Prime Minister, Oliver Dowden, you know, the cheese sniffer, are expected to attend the UN General Assembly in place of Sunak. Is it me, or has this happened before? I think it has, wasn't it? One of the other summits? I think so. Wasn't there a risk of Alexander Boris the Fifth Johnson, the blonde Boris mutant variant, attending as a sideswipe to Rishi Sunak? And all of a sudden, Rishi said, I could go now. Well, so leaders of most of the world's 20 biggest economies are also meeting in Delhi this weekend as India holds the presidency of the G20 group. And the climate crisis is expected, apparently, down a bit, is expected, I've lost it now. The climate crisis is expected to be discussed after a summer of record temperatures in many parts of the world. But no diplomatic breakthroughs are expected then. Sounds a bit like the India trade deal, doesn't it? Well, India's got us by the short and curlies, considering their economy is bigger than ours now. And they have a massive workforce. That's cheap. Well, modern day slavery, I suppose you could call it. Well, the close observer of climate talks said, or one close observer of climate talks said, the climate summit on the 20th of September is an invite only. The countries have to demonstrate progress to play, and the bar is high. If Sunak wants to be in the climate photo, he needs to lead and value the fact that this is a race, and it's a race, and we must all win. We'll fight you on the beaches. Oh, Ed Miliband. Yeah, Ed Miliband. Oh, that name rings a bell. Is he, related to the ex-Labour Party leader? Oh, yes, he is. His brother. Well, the Channel Net Zero secretary warned of the damage to the UK standing. If it is the case that Rishi Sunak has been excluded from the global climate discussions. You see, we have less soft power now. We can't dictate. Oh, we don't have a seat at the table anyway in the EU. Well, I know this is the UN, but yeah, it will confirm that we will. Get my worms out in a minute. It will confirm what we in the UK already know. That he is a Prime Minister who is trashing the UK's reputation of climate leadership. Just like he has trashed our nation's clean power resources, he said. Well, let's be honest, Rishi Sunak is trashing everything. He's trashed our military. He's trashed our soft power. He's trashing everything. Brexit. Oh, yeah. I just want my Brexit. That hasn't helped either. No. It's made us tiny. Well, number 10 spokesperson said, oh my God, can't be bothered with that. Can't be bothered with that. Should I go into the next bit? I think I should. I think I will. Whenever they make a statement, it's no bollocks. Pretty much. Because they lie. Right, well, there's other problems afoot, that there is. Isn't just the fact that the UK is losing its soft power. It's the fact that we can't afford it in the first place, as in environment. Yeah, this ain't great. No. The biggest clean energy disaster in years. The UK auction secures no offshore wind farms. It's basically, putting things out to tender for, those who build these things, like Vestas, which I think is a Danish company. Yeah, Vestas, they've got to make money, haven't they? But the money on offer ain't enough, so it seems. So lack of interest was widely expected after the government failed to heed warnings about the soaring costs. We have zero wind turbines that are going to be built. It's the first time in several years. So, no new offshore wind farms will go ahead in the UK after the latest government auction. And what can't get my worms out. Let me have a drink. Little worms. Stop eating them. Well, the UK, after the latest government auction, in what critics have called the biggest clean energy policy failure in almost a decade. This is really bad news, you know. And under the companies hoping to build big offshore wind farms in the UK, Waters took part in the government's annual auction, when they bid for the contracts, basically, which awards contracts to generate renewable electricity for 15 years at a set price. The companies have warned ministers repeatedly that the auction price, and what's going to happen now is we're going to find that all the energy costs are going to go up, aren't they? So the companies have warned ministers repeatedly that the auction price was set too low for offshore wind farms to take part after costs in the sector soared by about 40% because of inflation caused in their supply chains. Building the blooming things. Before I get back into this one, I want to bring up this as well. Right, so if we go with the Danish company, for instance, Vestas, who builds those wind turbines, you know, one of the biggest companies out there does it, aren't they? They are in a bit of a shit state financially. They've been struggling. So they can't afford to, obviously, give it for free. So Vestas sinks 1.2 billion loss. So Vestas reported a 369% drop in operating profits in 2022 to unforeseen geopolitical uncertainty, high inflation and supply supply chain constraints. What do they mean by that? Oh, I wonder. How's it got something to do with this? Vestas turbine blades seized as wind giant tries to keep them out of Russian hands. So, Vladimir Putin has seized Western assets. Oh, what a nasty little man he is. Oh. He don't look like he's dying quite so much now. He's looked like he got a peg at any moment last year, didn't he? Now he's sort of looking a bit healthier. Anyway, Vestas turbine blade seizes wind giant tries to keep him out of the hands of Russia. So Danish group says it attempted to salvage a value of Russian assets and stop them playing part in the sanctioned energy sector. So yes, Russia seized 10 million euros worth, or $11 million, of wind turbine blades when Vestas attempted to export them from the country. The company confirmed. Well, Vestas was actually doing a lot of the wind turbine, wind farms and stuff in Russia. And that stuff got stuck there. The Vestas was a leading Western pioneer in Russian wind power before Ukraine invasion and was geared up to supply major projects. But like other Western companies, swiftly saw its business there unravel as it planned a post-war retreat from a market where it had made significant manufacturing investments. Oh. So Russian nuclear giant building wind farms using Western technology despite the sanctions. Yeah. They've got like an alternative trade route now in Russia. Oh, I forgot what they called it now. I did the video about it ages ago. So the Danish group said that after the Russian contracts were terminated, we tried to export a number of blades from Russia in the attempt to salvage some of our Russian assets and to mitigate the overall losses. Obviously, they can't afford to be increasing their losses just by, well, they're not going to work for the UK, are they? They're not going to provide us anything. So Vestas owned these assets, but due to EU and other Western sanctions, none of these blades could be sold or used in the Russian energy sector. Therefore, the blades could either only be scrapped, seized, or saved for export. Well, Vestas added in a statement the blades were Vestas' property, and we tried to save the value they represented for both us and the green transition outside of Russia, and we did not want to leave blades belonging to Vestas with the risk of the blades would become a contribution to a sanctioned Russian energy sector. Oh dear. Anyway, we're trying. So, there we go. Right. Oh my Gideon. Austin Reynolds posts are getting censored for my live chat, but not on your screen, Marcus. Oh. Okay. Maybe I've got to do it myself. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, he's getting a bit much. I'll go. Okay, he should disappear now. Bit luck soon. The Chinese did it during the Olympics, so it rained before. It's all very well. This Mr. Austin Reynolds, I feel we need to justify it, posting what he thinks and what have you, but you need someone to back it up. Just throwing out random shit like that it doesn't have any weight. So anyway, the Chinese did it during the Olympics, so it rained before the event. Okay, I'm too far up. Way too far up. Okay, hey, number 3, I hope you're well. Oh, I said that already too, didn't I? I had hoped to get an electric boiler to replace my old gas one. But the energy may be 3 to 4 times more expensive than gas for some strange reason. Well, the cap has been lifted, isn't it? Which isn't very helpful. I can't remember what they said. They basically said there's going to be no help, didn't they? This year. They ain't got no money. There ain't no money. There really is no money. They always find money, but there isn't really real money. It's kind of like the never money. Usually to feather their own nests and look after the friends, but you know they're like. We can all accept that, can't we? You know, it's how it goes on. You know, these things happen. I was having this discussion as well, actually, with my son and that, and I said about lies. But he said, well, that's what politicians do. They lie, don't they? That's what they do. And I said, well, no, shouldn't we be expecting better from our politicians? This is not the language I expected to hear from my son, because he used to be really hard left. It's like he's been indoctrinated. He does work for the museum service. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. But that is, yeah, Would you agree to a cemetery being taken over by property developers? Ooh. Are you referring to something that happened in Norwich? Maybe you are, Peter Meyer. Is that what you're referring to, or are you referring to something else? Because if you are, I think I know what you're talking about. Chapel in the Field, as in Chapel Field. Now, years ago, there was a chapel. It was like Chapel in the Field, and then Macintosh's chocolate factory was built and what have you, and everything got built on top of this cemetery. But also what happened even more recently, the Mall, not the Castle Mall, but the, of course, called the other Mall, not far from Chapel Field, was built on top of a cemetery. Now, a friend of mine, I mentioned his name before, Danny Gotts, who had a construction firm, but also diggers and stuff like that. He thought it was a good idea to use the gravestones to create a retaining wall down the side of the path that leads up to this Mall. Needless to say, shit hit the fan. Yeah, it didn't go down too well. Yeah. A Jewish cemetery. Oh, no, it's different now. Yeah. Birdnet Ratfest. Nuto knows what it's doing and plans escalation with Russia all the way to full thermo nuke exchange. Ready? I don't buy that either. No one wants that. Even Russia doesn't actually want that. It's the end game, isn't it? It's the end game, that's it. Reminds me of that song, that police song. I hope Russian people love their children too. Where are all... Well, Jasper, I'm not doing racism, mate, okay? Or Islamophobic type stuff. I'm not doing it. Sorry. So I'm going to remove your post. Sorry, Jasper. I like you, mate, but I'm not doing that. I very much doubt it because here in France, for instance, they banned them. So, and any head coverings, in fact. Would you agree to the cemetery being taken over by property developers? I've done that already. No, done that already. I don't. Yeah, I understand your point. Then number 3, and also, electric is never going to be cheaper. Here in France, for instance, the electric is going up by 10%. The cap to 4% has now been lifted, so is here in France. So although it ain't going up a huge amount, it's still going up by 10%, which is a bit annoying. I'm off to another pub. Have a good evening all. Take care, my friend. Stephen McGowan. I hope you have a lovely drink. Night, Stephen. Says FY and Vicar. Return to tender. Address unknown. No such number. EU zone. Bit of Elvis there. Who can afford to go to the pub? I know, Jasper. I know. It's so expensive. It's not cheap here either, but it does vary. I tell you, I went to an English pub once. When we first came here, and I got myself, I wanted to get a Guinness. And they had this machine thing there for the Guinness, right? They got cans out of the fridge, and they put the cans on top of this machine. And then they poured it into the glass first. They put the glass on the machine, and it gave it like a Guinness head. You know? It cost me €9 for a pint of Guinness. I thought, back at that. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But for canned Guinness? Stick it out at the bottom. I don't want it. Beer is cheap here, and I drink German. Actually, I was having this discussion actually with my son, actually, because it was the cost of stuff. Like, for instance, the cost of beer here in France and what have you, and alcohol and wine, and compared to the UK. And he got a really lovely bottle of wine he did for €6. To me, that's the expensive bottle of wine. It really is. But I have to admit, it was blooming good. It was a lovely bottle of wine. It was really, it was really smooth. It was a really nice bottle of wine. Can't remember what it's called, but it was a lovely bottle of wine. And enjoyed it with him, I did. And for him, that would be how much he'd be paying for a real bog, really cheap, nasty bottle of wine in the UK, because all the taxation and so on, what have you. And he said about the beer, the beer's about sort of same sort of money. So I said, no, it's not. No, it's not. The beer is about twice as strong. You need one 250ml glass to get what you get out of like a pint in the UK. You know, it's a bit of hair. I've got hair. That's 7%. What's up, my door? I got my Pandora here. Pandora. Oh, Pandora. Where are you, girl? You gonna get it or not? Not that high. You gotta try. She's not doing it. Oh, give in. Wally's fast asleep. Look at him over there. Oh, he just opened his eyes. Yeah, boy. Well, anyway, let's back into where were we? Back into the chat. Hodge a dame now. Ooh. Vendetta won't matter. If it says vendetta, the Tories will just make sure any clean energy created gets sold on the open market, so we won't benefit. Now, that's the problem with how the energy markets work. They're always on the oil, gas price, oil price, and it's the electric as well. That's why they did the extra tariffs on wind power, didn't they? Taxed them more to compensate, because producing, electricity from wind power is actually really cheap. Obviously, even though everyone used to say it'd be more expensive, but it's not. It's cheaper. UK is now 90%. It feels like that, doesn't it? It's crazy on beer. And some beer breweries that, they're bringing the alcohol levels down, so they get into the next bracket down, which is a bit, a bit of a shame. The government capped the amount of money they can charge for energy while simultaneously charging them 45% more in tax. They'll do as a lobby orders after filming them sniffing and naked. What? Okay. I'm not the leader of a council, so I'll never have to make that decision. Replying to PMI. That was not my question. PMI. I can't find it now. Would you agree to a cemetery being taken? Oh, okay, that wasn't your question. Okay. Property developers. No, I don't agree. If that's the answer to your question. Scrolling down. I'm too far up again, aren't I? Oh, Sir Larry the cat. Hello there, Sir Larry the cat. He's got his Wally dog's there. My little Wally dog's sleepy. Yes. I'm sleepy. Dogs are sleeping like crazy at the moment because it's so flipping hot. Experts saying if alcohol was discovered today, it would be banned. That's a good point. It probably would. Number one killer, worse than all drugs put together, and then worse on society. Yep, I'd agree. I'm not going to argue. I drink, but I can't argue with that. I'm not going to. Lefty Boat says they have those Guinness can machines if they don't sell much of it. Oh, I see. When I had the pub, we had it for a few months, and we got it on draft. Oh, I see. So they don't sell much, so they use as canned things. It wasn't the same. It wasn't like a draft. No. Expert saying alcohol will be done that ready. Bear hair is always strong. National brands included. I drink German because I like the taste. No, I like German beers. I like hoppy beers. Well, I like hoppy or wheat beers and what have you. I'm doing some homebrew at the moment. Actually, I've got a homebrew kit on the go at the moment, and I did the first batch with the as recommended, with the amount of sugars I put in and stuff like that. And that was 2 weeks. I only had 3%. I don't know, blooming good. That's like an old-fashioned beer. That is all 3% flipping beer. So I whacked no more sugar in and put some more yeast in and got it going again. So it's coming to an end now. So I think I'll probably look at my hydrometer. It's probably going to be near around 6.5% now. I hope. I had a bottle of Borgia, courtesy of the estate agents from Spain. It was very nice, fruity red. Well done.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just a bit sleepy. Yeah. Caroline, they walked in, she's half naked, but yeah, you don't want to see that. And she realised we're live. Borba is the best red wine in the world. I haven't had it, so I couldn't say. Jim Toy, Tall Shorts, got them bugs yet? What bugs? Oh, them bugs! Do you know, crikey, I've even got the note up here. You're talking about the bugs. You want me to eat bugs? Do you know what? I got up there, bugs. Got all about. I got a couple of other notes now. Hello, Hammer Taboo. I hope you're well, my friend. Bonsoir. Wave power, yeah, hydropower and wave power. We've got tidal waters. It makes sense. Why not? Well, the big energy companies need to be kept alive. Too much money in it. Yeah, and also, if they did collapse, we'd be in a hell of a flipping shit state. We really would. Or is that what we need? Do we need a major reset? Sometimes I think so. It's the people that suffer in between, though, isn't it? You know. What was I watching the other day? There was a film I was watching. Oh, what was it called? I'll come to in a minute. Where there's like an insurgence, you know, and the United States has been taken over by militia. No, mercenaries. How many German bears does it take to start an argument? 9! David Ball, Gordon Mackenzie, I totally agree. Gordon Mackenzie, totally agree. Not only do we supply the excess to England, Scotland then pay more per unit due to the UK energy supplies pricing structure. And also, what's going on, I've told a million times before, where we can't seem to get the electricity out of the wind turbines into the national grid. We keep turning them off. We need the power, but we keep turning them off because the actual grid can't cope with the power. We don't have big enough cables, basically. So how the hell are we going to do EV? If everyone went over to EV all of a sudden, there's no way we could transition that quickly. Got to do it, but there's no way we're going to transition. I know some people think about hydrogen and that, but that, you know, that does blow up. That stuff does. Table beer is about 3%. Well, beer used to be around 2 to 3% years and years ago because people drinking culture was, people have several beers. The alcohol used to be a lot lower. But I don't like it. I want the beers to be like beer-like, as in proper beer, like German beer-like, or French beer-like, where you got actually, or Belgian beer-like. No, it's not Boddington's. Don't know where I stole that glass from. Hello, Roof Recovery. Hello there. I'm here, but I had a foo, so might not last long. And we'll try not to contribute crap opinions. Please do it. We have a laugh, can't we? Hope well, Roof. Don't worry, Roof. We all do that. I watched a couple of your videos earlier this week. Number 3. It'd be good if you could make energy from freezing temperatures or cold. Well, it's possible, isn't it? You think, well, when water freezes, it expands. Well, that's kinetic energy. Well, yeah, freeze it from orbit heat. We've got sun, it's not exactly heat. When it's really hot, my actual solar panels here, they're not as efficient when it's hot. Good evening, Roof Recovery. Most opinions are welcome here. Just nothing racist or insulting. Go ahead, says P. Dollars. Yeah, I don't want anything Islamophobic, racist, or any bigotry. You know, anything like that. No, please, no. It spoils it for everybody else. No one wants to see that. That's one of the reasons I actually do go through the comments. It's quite hard to keep up with, on the actual videos. It's quite hard to keep up with sometimes, but it's one of the reasons I go through it. Cause sometimes I get a bit late, but it might be later on that day or something. Cause I can't be on the ball all the time. It's impossible. But I just don't want it on there. And if people say things on there that are either derogatory or bigotry or just plain nasty, racist, etc., don't want it on there. Don't want it on there. Other people do what's it, and I do what's it. First and possibly the last benefit of Brexit is that it will strengthen the roots of the European Union. Spot on. Most definitely will. Hussein Karbasi, yes, you aren't wrong. And we're getting stuff passed here now. We haven't got old Nigel Farage putting his oar in constantly. vetoing every blooming thing. So getting done. So yeah, and also we don't hear about Frexit or Grexit or anything like that. Or Lexic, exit. Oh, anyway, any exits. We don't hear about it anymore. It was regularly in the press. Marine Le Pen, she ain't mentioned it. No. Even Maloney, Georgia Maloney, she hasn't mentioned it. I don't know about Orban though. I think he'd be up for it. There again, I don't think the people are. They had a poll on that, didn't they? And they said, no, we're not getting the EU. You don't need a reset. You need an intervention, says Just Saying. What did we say? We need something. And Brexit has transformed Britain into a scorched earth that no one in Europe wants to try and experience anymore. Partly because they can't use their cards, their ID cards. No, they've got to get a passport just to come to the UK. What the UK don't seem to understand is, I think he said UK, I say Little Britain. Not Little Britain, but Little England. No, I'm not saying it's Scots because it's not fair. No. They were dragged into this. Kicking and screaming they were. I think actually even Northern Ireland was. So let's say England. So, scorched earth. Blimey. What a mess. I don't think there's any going back at the moment, though. I really don't. We haven't got anyone potentially, or even Labour in power, who wants it. I personally think the EU will have to be more flexible if they want us back. The EU would have to be more flexible. You all have me on, aren't you, number 3? You're being funny, aren't you? Are you saying the EU's intransient? Yeah. Are you suggesting that maybe the EU is a rules-based system? Maybe. I think it might be somehow. Yeah, I don't think it wants us back, to be honest. No, many people in... I'm not going to say... Actually, that's probably not true, actually. I don't think it's as simple as that. I don't think, they don't want us back. There are people, obviously, in the EU don't want the UK back. I get that. I understand. I can see the reasons why as well, because, not be funny, some of the rhetoric that was flying about was just downright awful. The bigotry. Yeah. It was, yeah. Especially what they said against Germany and those sort of countries. In 1 minute they're saying about, accusing the Chancellor of being Nazis and all that sort of stuff. And then the next minute say, the German car industry will come and save us. Oh, maybe they will, though. That is now a possibility. So anyway, the EU will have to be more flexible if they want us back. There's still a lot of anti-EU sentiment there. There is, but there's also a lot, hang on, I don't like it. Yeah. But it's usually the people who have been affected by Brexit and they realise, oh dear, I'm not as well off as I thought I was going to be, and now I've got all my rights have been removed. I can't visit my my Italian home more than 90 days in every 180. Yeah, everything's gone beat-on. Yeah, because they're selfish people, you see. Many of them who are now backtracking. It really gets me sometimes. It's just nuts. I personally think the EU will have to be more flexible. Oh, I've done it already. Go on, scroll down. Forgot to scroll, I did. If they want us back, all sorts as a part of the peace project, there's still rules to got to abide by. And the UK, we don't even get past the first stepping stone. Not anymore. Even though there's countries in the EU that wouldn't be able to join anyway. Because our national, our debt, for a start. The national debt mustn't be over 60% if you go by the Copenhagen Agreement. You need to be able to do that before you can actually do Article 49. So that'd be the first stepping stone. Could it be negotiated? Maybe it could. Maybe they'd give us some respite on that. Maybe they would. So no, I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. Oh, FY, what FY say? There's a good observation, FY, says Ruth Guthrie. So what did FY say? Farage reminds me of The Simpsons. It reminds me of it. Like, what's that? Wind in the Willows? Wind in the Willows? Maybe Wind in the Willows? Such a frog face, isn't he? He really is a frog face. No wonder people call him Frogarge or Frogtarge. The past few years, we have faced complete uncertainty, yes, about what is happening in the key research areas. And the UK used to dominate the Horizon programme, and it will take a long time to get that back. Yes, because Rishi Sunak is now saying, he said after the recess, didn't he, that they would look at it again. They did actually negotiate this about 2 months ago and come up with an agreement, because it's about how much they get back. The UK gets more back than any other EU country from the Horizon. But to be fair to the UK, it does have actually a very, well, it did have, I don't know what it's like now, mind, very good research, like John Innes and what have you. What are you doing over there, Wally? You're having a scratch. It's banging the sofa. The past 3 years, we have faced complete uncertainty. Yes, we have. Yet Marcus, Northern Ireland voted to remain in the EU. That he did. Okay, done that one. I didn't expect such comments from you anyway, Ruth Guthrie, so go ahead. Where are we? Number 3. Oh, I know this, but if the EU wants us back, then it has to change its ways. It's not just the UK. Hungary is also awkward, for example. They don't have to change anything. You've got to remember that it's not, they say the EU. The EU is a group of countries. You know, it's not any one individual that makes the rules. Everyone would have to agree to it. They'd have to come to some kind of, maybe we'll do this, and then vote on it. Somebody's got to start the ball rolling, obviously. But, you know, I don't think they're bothered. They don't talk about it over here. French don't talk about it. They're not interested in Brexit. They don't even talk about the UK half the big time. They're just pointing and laughing. So I can't see it happening. Toad the Total. That's the thing I'm thinking about. Lefty Boat. Toad the Total. That's Frogarge. It looks like his face in the way it's... Yeah, it's very toadish. I like toads. I don't like that one, though. That toadish. That Frogarge. Being totally and typically honest, if Europe wants the UK back, it will be 450 million per week worth of buses to twist the UK after enjoy. Oh. And obviously got potentially... Starting point will be that we have to join the Euro, into the Eurozone. That'd be the starting point. Yes, it could be negotiated. Like anything, it could be negotiated. Just whether or not they whether or not they'd be willing to accept that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll see, won't we? If it ever happens, I don't think we're anywhere near it. It's going to take. Well, it takes about 10 years just to negotiate. During the what they call concession. Is it concession? What they call it? The first stage. You know, like a cooling off period. I don't know. So I can't see it happen. It might be 10 years before we even try. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I do. Yeah, I'm saying negative about it, but I'm a realist. I just can't see it happening for a while anyway. Being totally into here we go. Ask anyone in the street about the UK, and they will say, "What about it?" Says Joel. People don't care. They're not interested. You know, if you ask me who the UK Prime Minister is, they will say, "I don't know." They're not interested. They got their own worries, their own problems to deal with. You know, they take all their time hating Macron. So you know, which I don't quite understand. Okay, the pension thing I get. I can see some hatred against that, and also students and stuff. I get that. But tell you what, though, what I don't get is that habitation bill is gone. So that's a chunk. You know, that's a good old saving. He pretty much protected people through the energy crisis last year with the 4% maximum. Basically, our electric didn't go up really, not noticeably. He's done a lot of good stuff. Also, he's made it far more efficient regarding online services such as Amelie for your health. Taxation's all been done online. Car registration's all done online now. There's a lot been streamlined here in France. Some people don't like it, I suppose. I suppose it depends who's funding it, isn't it? As part of the peace process, it requires a give and take. If the core principle still applies, then adjustments will be required all around. You've been talking to Phil Morehouse, haven't you? The UK removed itself from the peace process. We I say we. I'm a British citizen, but the EU didn't push the UK out. They had a vote. But I don't think there's not enough interest here, I don't think, for the UK to rejoin. There isn't. Okay, you got Guy Verhofstadt and people like that. Yes, he's desperate for the UK to rejoin. I'm desperate for the UK to rejoin. I just can't see it, though. I just can't see it. I want it to happen, obviously I do. It'd be stupid not to. But EU won't be able to make interest on goods as UK is a third world country. Third country, yeah. No, they don't. They're not interested. The people here are not interested. To be honest, many of them weren't even interested in Brexit was going on. What's that all about? And I live in an area that has a lot of support from Marine Le Pen. I mean, rural France, farmers and that, They all sleep with their sisters here in France. You see, to protect the land because you can't disinherit your family, you see. So the land don't get broken up. So they sleep with their sisters. That's what I was told. I'm not saying that's true, but that's what I was told from a French person. Yeah. We are all married to each other in the world. Yoko Lennon, yes. She did say that. We're all one people, really. Unfortunately, we're not really all singing off the same song sheet. That's the problem. Like the environment, look what's going on with that. When Britain was on the doorstep of Europe, they were seen as indispensable by others doing business. Now that you just only seen as a thorn in their side, unfortunately. The UK was a stepping stone to the United States. Now, the United States now negotiating trade deals with the EU. The thing, once it's lost, it's lost. It's gone forever. It'll be a very long time before we can build that trust back up again. And it's kind of what we've got to do. This is when the conversation was happening with my son, actually. Regarding make Brexit work. I think it's bollocks. Absolute bollocks. And he's obviously hopeful because he lives in the UK, but he's worried about his wife and his daughter and stuff, my granddaughter. And obviously, he's thinking about their futures. So he's hopeful. And the first stage is to soften the rhetoric, to tone down the rhetoric, get them to trust us again. I think Labour could do that. Obviously, I believe Labour could do that. Do I think it's enough? No, I don't think it is. The UK is back in the horizon, by no means certain. No, so there's a preliminary agreement, isn't it? It isn't signed, sealed, and delivered yet. No. Belgium, the Netherlands, France, and Sweden have protested against it. I actually don't understand why you would protest against it. I think for the Horizon project as a whole, it's good for the UK to join. I do, and not just for the UK, but for the whole project. We all have something to offer, We do have scientists that are very competent scientists, even though the ones that have decided to stay post-Brexit, that is. A lot more already left, but there you go, It's like our bankers. No wanting to start an argument, but read Articles 49 and 50 of the Leave Agreement, and there are ways to join the EU for the UK, written and very clear. I can't do. Where is it? It's just jumped up. Okay. It's gone too far up now. Scotland will not be rejoining come independence. It will be joining. Well, that's what the UK will be doing. The UK won't be rejoining. It's not really on the same terms, is it? So it's going to be joining. It's going to be, yeah. It's only EU tourists that can complain about Brexit. Yeah. People who, what do you mean? People who want to tour in the EU complain about Brexit. Oh, I see. Well, it is aggro, isn't it? And they're quite stringent, aren't they, going into the UK if you're not a British citizen? These countries believe that the UK should pay the full price because it benefits from the work that has already been done. Yes, that's a good point, actually. Well, I thought they're supposed to, yeah, but they've got concessions, haven't they? And also they're getting more percentage back. As a percentage of the funds, back into the UK sides. Was one of the Brexit deals to park up Concorde on display at what? What? Oh, we're having a laugh. Oh, okay. Was one of the Brexit deals to park up Concorde on display at Heathrow, non-ULEZ zone. Designed by the French, wasn't it, Concorde? I did read the articles. I read I didn't bother Article 50 because it's already been done. But Article 49 I've read. Parts of, anyway. Highlights. Those interested in the UK... there we go. Okay, I get the practical issues. The peace principles should result in current EU members wanting to be more flexible. Then, yeah. Let's be honest. That's idealism, that is number 3. I get the practical issues, but peace principles should result in the current EU members wanting to be more flexible. Current EU members are not just looking about whether or not it's the right thing to do, they're looking at what benefits their countries. They've also got a responsibility to, well, their people, haven't they? Not just the people of the EU, but their own people. You're going to get a bit of nationalism in it as well, aren't you? Obviously. I know that the UK has a lot wrong. I'm trying to think ahead. No, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm saying I can't see it happening anytime soon. And it's going to be a long way off. There isn't enough sentiment for the UK to rejoin anyway. And no matter what the polls say, people go about democracy, sovereignty, all that crap. Yeah, I just can't see it happening. Yeah, it's going to be a long way off. I think before we even get a vote, it might be there again, a bit flat on our face. Maybe it might people's minds might change, including who was ever in power at the time. Yeah, Phil is so sick and can't even make videos. Yeah, he's got COVID, isn't he? So I've heard. Back on the old pre-referendum info. Yeah, a very, very long way off, I agree. Yeah, I think we might be looking 20 years before we actually get back in, if it ever happens. So, it's not gonna be, I don't think it'll be my lifetime. I'm half dead now. Well, per year, and now has lost 80 to 100 million per year, and now has lost between 80 and 100 billion per year, and will lose another 80 to 80 billion when Euro clearing gets removed. Is it 2025? So no rebate any more. No, that's a good point. We won't need. See, the EU is not going to need the UK. It's not going to need the city of London, is it? For a start, 7,000 workers already left the city for the EU, and also what was it, Morgan Stanley. A lot went to the US as well. So it's not great, is it? It's not great at all. Anyway, I'm digressing here, aren't I? So what we're in? We're on 39 minutes. Blimey. Right. Oh yes, don't forget to boot the old like button. There you go. Oh, it's a Sebastian. There's Sebastian. I'll put the wine for treats now. Right, we're on 39. So yeah, get up to Marcus hour. Right, where was I? Can't remember what I was refresh my brain. So oh, I remember now. About Germany coming to the rescue. So I need to find it first because I haven't put it on my list. Ah, here we go. Right, Now, anyone likes EVs? Oh, maybe. Right, this happens to be in The Guardian and come out today. Well, you remember during the old Brexit campaign? You know, post-Brexit campaign? Yeah, we got Brexit. They told us that the German car industry would come and save us. Yeah, come to the rescue. That's what they're going to do. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it didn't happen, did it? And there's a threat of the car industry leaving the UK because of the threat of these tariffs, these 10% tariffs, which still could be a bit of an issue. But it looks like the German car industry, Germany as a whole, is backing the plea for some changes to the tariffs on EVs, you know, between the UK and the EU. So yes, Germany backs tariff delay on electric vehicle sales between the UK and the EU. Oh, delay. Don't mean that's permanent. So manufacturers face 10% levies under post-Brexit trade deal, but German government supports postponement. Now, car makers could be in line for reprieve after it emerged that Germany is backing calls to postpone tariffs on electric vehicle sales between the UK and the EU. Manufacturers in the UK and on the continent face the prospect of 10% levies on new electric vehicles that cross the channel from January under post-Brexit trade deal agreed between Britain and the bloc in 2020. However, the German government now supports calls for the European Commission for the 3-year delay to the tariffs. This was in the Financial Times. That was. Oh, that's the offshore one. Oh, no, that's the wrong one as well. Oh, crikey, where did it go? No, I've lost it. There it is. So, the three-party coalition in the EU's largest economy has been debating the matter after calls from car makers to delay the measure, and the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, he's the one who stopped Nord Stream 2, isn't he, has reportedly made the final decision. The British vehicle manufacturers and Rishi Sunak's government will hope the German intervention is enough to convince the EC to delay the tariffs. Could it happen? Could it not? We'll see. The managing director of Vauxhall, remember that, owned by Stellantis. They're saying there's a possibility that these car manufacturing plants could leave the UK. That's what they said at the time. It wasn't just them, it was Ford and various others. And on Thursday, he said tariffs could push consumers away from electric cars. The Stellantis, Ford and Jaguar Land Rover, that makes Jaguars and Land Rovers, previously criticised the timing of the tariff move. Now, critics of the changes argue a swift introduction of the new rules will undermine Britain and Europe's efforts to compete with Chinese electric car manufacturers. Under the proposals, and car makers will face tariffs unless they have enough UK or EU content, adding thousands of pounds to the cost of new cars that do not comply. Let's step back the rules of origin. Oh, isn't that scary? Well, the rules of origin state that 60% of the value of the EV's batteries and 45% of its overall parts must be sourced from the EU and the UK to avoid tariffs. You don't technically avoid the tariffs, it just means you've got to pay a tariff so you can claim it back if the parts are made in the EU. This will prove difficult as the industry is still heavily relying on components for electric vehicles derived from electric battery gigafactories. Oh, gigafactories. I wonder what happened to the gigafactory. You remember the British fault? Tits up, didn't it? Got bought out by an Australian firm, which is now, in a bit of a shit state itself. The police, they went in, they did. They weren't very happy, because it looks like corruption. Well, the efforts to build gigafactories in the UK and Europe have been slowed down by the disruption during the coronavirus pandemic. Oh, here we go again. And its aftermath. Yeah, what about Brexit? Which has made getting everything from financing to raw materials more difficult. Financing. Banking's leaving. David Bailey, a professor of business and economics at the University of Birmingham, said that the irony is that the rules designed to help build EV supply chain in Europe could end up damaging the very industry they seek to protect, allowing Chinese imports to undercut UK and EU-made EVs. Well, I suppose what they could do regarding China, I suppose they could levy more, well, put more levies on the Chinese EVs. The problem is China's got too much flipping power because they control the flipping minerals. Anyway, back into the chat. Giggity, says Sir Larry the Cat. 3 battery factories are being built in my area. Well, that's Portugal. Yeah, they're heavily going into battery factories, aren't they? Where was it they found? Was it Norway or somewhere, or Finland or somewhere? They found some minerals as well. It's going to take about 10 years before they extract it, though. Have you seen the answer of the Commission and the position of the Parliament, Mark? See it and see the French position too. I haven't looked at that yet. I only just saw this tonight, so I hadn't had a chance to look properly. I had a Vauxhall carton. Oh my giddy aunt, that's like what was it, like a Cavalier on steroids, isn't it? It was a crock of poop. Even worse in winter. They're rubbish cars, aren't they? Oh, what with the old Vauxhall Cresta with a little curvy window on the back? The Flintstones predicted this. I bet they did. We're going to be going back to like cars made out of rock and lumps of wood. Tories will be aiming for a trade deal with Putin for them to export larders to us. Larders. Well, like Larder Eva. My son auntie had a Larder Eva. That was like little state. Yeah, was it Riva? Yeah, Riva Estate, I think it was. And that was actually a really good car, apart from it was like driving a flipping tank. My God, that steering was so heavy. It's someone else's turn to lead. Larder, Fiat 128. Oh my giddy. Was that the 128? Was that a little tiny Fiat? No, I think that Fiat 500, didn't I? What's a little Fiat 500? No, I quite like the Ferrari. That was with its 2-litre twin cam. Larders still exist here. Oh, blimey. Who's had a Wartburg? Anyone's had a Wartburg? North Sweden. Oh, it's North Sweden. Okay. Big rare earth minerals next to an iron mine. I chose Simon says. I didn't. Yeah. I knew it was in. It was there somewhere. North Europe. To trade deal with Serbia on Jaffa cakes. Maybe get Yugos in return. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. So it would be Lebedev. He's helped us out. Yeah. Lord has said Siberia. He's helped us out. Oh, it's the 128, the Fiat 128. Is that the one with the rare? Which is the one with the rare engine? The one, the really noisy air-cooled one. Was that the 128? That had like a grill on the back, like a compressed grill. My auntie had one that was cream colour. That was horrible, noisy. We're getting into knockoff versions of McDonald's, says Perry. Yeah, Perry. Like Russia at this rate, yeah. Oh, well, McDonald's sold it off, didn't they? There's no McDonald's in Russia anymore. They sold off. Obviously, they don't supply them anymore either, do they, with the actual ingredients, with their patties and stuff. Meanwhile, Fishy Sunak is busy pillaging the treasury. I shouldn't think there's much left, is there? Larders are what? Are Chinese cars now, are they? Oh, wait. Larders are Chinese cars, and they have their wheels assembled in Russia, and they call it a Russian. What? I used to be a bit of a Morris Minor man, me. I used to always have Morris Minors, and I love the whole things. Well, in India, they did a 5-speed box version of one of those, didn't they? A really good car, but the thing is, they can be repaired on the side of the road. So simple. Should be turned into an alley, which was what the Nord Stream was for. Jim Toy says this book also says Germany could be turned into an ally, which was I see. Oh, we got what Russian ally. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's what I was thinking about. It's a Fiat 800, was it? Tiny little thing. It looked like a football. Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's the one. A gherkin on toast. What? Max Hoffman. We've got Max Hoffman, have we? Where's Max Sovereign? Can't see it now. Oh my god, I can't see. A Gherkin. Oh, Max Sovereign! Gherkin on top. I get it now. Oh my god, that took a little while to click, that did. Yeah. The Russians cannot build the cars, so the Chinese build them and send them to Russia. And they are assembled on the wheels and they call them Russia. Oh, okay. Interesting, I didn't know that. Now, I used to have, like these German cameras and stuff, like the old Zenit cameras, remember the Praktikas and stuff as well? And my first ever SLR, single lens reflex camera, was a Zenit XP12. It had 2 little LEDs in the viewfinder for your exposure. You know, when cameras were real, you know, they actually were cameras. Used photosensitive film. Now, when I used to work in Coes and Norwich in the labs there, and we had a machine, and it would collect the silver. So when your film goes through the process, you get your develop and the stop, and the last process would be your fixatives and your bleach fix. And the bleach fix would remove all the silver halides from the film, and it ends up in the solution. Well, we used a machine that removed the silver from the silver halides and attract them into this thing that looked like a bit of a bean can in this machine. And once a month, under a bit of the boss's guard, we'd have to take this out of the machine and break off, peel off all the silver. It's like, it comes, it's made a way to get it off easy anyway. And it comes off in like sheets off this can. And then we'd have to weigh it and take it down to the silver people to you can get paid for it. Just this pure silver. Quite a bit, because a lot of film went through, huge amount of film went through that photo processings on White Line Street in Norwich. It was at the time. Not there anymore. I don't know if Coes exists anymore, but the White Line Street photo shop is gone. I think it's ended up being a clothes shop, I think. I don't know what it is now, but it was at the time. Not at the time, but afterwards. Didn't Russia actually end World War II whilst others want to profit a little more? Well, did Russia actually end it, or was the fact they just, froze the Germans? There is some truth in that, I suppose, isn't there? Maybe it's a collaboration. When we were kids in the 80s, I used to go to my friend's farm and we'd drive around dirt bikes in his Fiat. So drive around dirt tracks, I do apologise, in his Fiat 126. It didn't have doors, bonnet or a boot, but also didn't have any brakes. It was a lot of fun. Well, we used to go through the old woods and an old Honda C90s. And yeah, they're pretty bust up old things, That was fun. They're quite quick. The old C90s are quite, they were quite nippy. Going through the woods, trying to go as fast as you can without killing yourself. They do about 60, 70 mile an hour. Old C90s. Not C90s, no, that was the young one. They do about 60. 60, I can't remember that. No, I don't think you do that, would it? It was a bit quick for going through woods anyway. It was a long time, but it felt very quick at the time. It was still a skill. They are waiting people in UK hospitals in which floor they must be placed. What? Oh, because the rat concrete? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, obviously you end up on the ground floor. Quite possibly. Well, I thought I got a little funny one for you, actually. Where is it? In a minute, Wally, in a minute, mate. Oh, here we go. I thought I'd share this with you. Couple demand refund after being seated next to a snorting, farting dog on a flight. Now, I love my dogs, but they do fart sometimes. Yeah. Don't you, Sebastian? Yeah. Well, what happened is, here we go. A couple are asking for a refund after they say they were seated next to a snorting, farting dog on their flight, which ruined the experience. Jill and Warren Press were on the first leg of their journey from Europe to New Zealand, flying the 13 hours from Paris to Singapore with Singapore Airlines. But the couple from Wellington quickly realised that their premium economy seat were an extra passenger with an emotional support dog. It was making noises. They said, I heard a noise. Yeah, I heard this noise. It was a heavy snorting. I thought it was the missus, and I soon realised it was a dog. Breathing. Yeah, okay, I just made some of that up. Anyway, they realised it was the dog making snorty noises, breathing. Yeah, the dog's not allowed to breathe, apparently. But anyway, obviously it has some kind of sniffle, or whatever, I don't know. My body does like snorty noises, yeah. Anyway, when she asked a flight attendant whether they could be moved, Mrs. Press was informed that the only seats available were in the back of the economy class. Oh, that's not good enough for us, though, is it? No, so they stayed put where they were, and claimed the smell, though, became unbearable. But halfway into the journey, as a dog was farting, while the animal was allegedly taken up Mrs. Press's legroom. Well, Mrs. Press claimed the owner couldn't have the dog out in the aisle because they couldn't get the trolleys through. So it had to come in further, which meant his head was under my husband's feet. Ew. Well, she says, my husband was in shorts and was getting the dog's saliva all over his legs. Well, Miss Press spoke to the flight attendant once more, who said that the pair could now move to seats in the front of the economy class that had previously been occupied by the cabin crew, but were now free. Although they were told the incident would be logged and that the airline would be in touch, Mrs. Press said that they had heard nothing a week later, because we're special. She emailed in a complaint and was eventually offered a travel voucher of £95 per passenger. 3 weeks later, however, Mrs. Press had argued that this is unacceptable. Oh, come back. What's happened? Unacceptable, and is now demanding a full refund because we got snot on our leg. And we didn't receive the experience we paid for, she said. A Singapore Airlines spokesperson said that the carrier was directly in contact with the couple. Singapore Airlines have endeavours to notify customers who may be seated next to an assistant's dog prior to boarding the flight. They said, we sincerely apologise that this did not occur in this case, and will work with our airport teams to ensure that this lapse does not occur again. Oh, poor Mrs. Press and her husband, who had snot on his leg. It's a pun on polish. Polish sushi. Oh, Polish sushi. Polish sushi? I do like sushi, actually. Well, seeing as we're talking Mexican cars, anyone got a four-wheel trims for a Volkswagen Fox? No, sorry, I don't have that. I've lost mine due to shit parking. Sorry to hear that. No, I haven't got any, sorry. You were living on a prayer. Don't eat Japanese seafood. Don't eat Vietnamese seafood either, no. Oops, and sushi. I like sushi. They're saying that. I say sushi. Japanese people have sushi. It's just like smoked salmon and stuff like that. It's not like like a whole fish that's been made to look rather weird. Yeah, a live fish with still wagging its tail. Why would you eat that? Anyway, that is why the toilet bowl was shining. Oh, probably hempcrete says, yeah, I know hempcrete. I do like hempcrete. I think it's good stuff. Don't mind me. I was just lurking with intense and solo in the cat. Oh, I'm lurking too. Just looking. Hempcrete is the one. That's what you want. More hempcrete. Ruth, get some zip ties if you do. Yes. Good advice. If you got wheel trims, put some zip ties, tie wraps to hold your trims into place onto the wheels. But also make sure you got something to cut them off with. Make sure you got some spares as well, just in case you ever got to change your tyre. Some side cuts or something's ideal for that. He who smelt it dealt it, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, Perry. I agree. It wasn't the dog. No, it was him. Just blaming the dog. Is there any evidence that it was the dog? The dog can have my seat. Yeah, and mine. I think they're trying their luck for a refund. I would rather sit next to a smelly dog than a smelly person. Oh, crikey. Oh, I had that pleasure once. I don't want to be fattest, but there's a really big guy, and he really smelled really bad. And and you know, it's like when you've got really, really big people and they sprawl. They're not in control of their body. It kind of just blobs out on you, and you're like this. Ugh, I don't like. I'm not very good at that sort of stuff. Yeah. Ugh. Our dog Beans breaks wind. Is that what you call it, Beans? Breaks wind in her dreams and chases rabbits in fast dreams. Yeah, my dog does that. Wally, he's like, he's running. He's funny. Yeah, that's going. The rewilding is going fast. I actually got a load of signs to put in for the trees. Haven't done any planting for the last 3 months because it's too dry. They would just die. There's no way we can keep on top of the water. We'd have to water them twice a day, as it's been recently. We stopped planting. Actually stopped planting. It would have been in May this year. But we have been propagating trees as well. But yeah, it's going all right. And I'm quite happy. We get more birds. With the trees, the older trees that we've planted. Some of them got quite big now. We haven't actually been doing this for a while, actually planting trees. It isn't something just, we just thought last year that would be quite a nice thing to sort of push along a bit harder. And we're putting a lot more trees as a result. So yeah, definitely. I am going to be making a video on that very soon. Me and Mrs. were talking about it yesterday. Because we're going to make a video, put all the signs in. Also clearing the bottoms of the trees out and all that sort of stuff. I've got about 20 signs to put in that I've made recently from the donations now. If anyone wants to have a tree planted on their behalf, maybe a memory of a loved one, what have you, or a pet or whatever. But also we're making bat roosts and what have you that as well. There is a GoFundMe link down below for this project. And I'm quite happy it's going a bit slower than I was hoping. Not because of funding, because I didn't count in the weather, when it's this hot. There's no way we can put trees in at the moment. It's just last year we put trees in a little bit late in last year, beginning of last year, and we struggled to keep them alive. They're okay, but we struggled to keep them alive because water. They've got no roots on them, have they? Really, it's the water table drops. Our well friends, one well water here, and oh my god, it's just disappearing. The water's actually the water table's so low now. We haven't had a rain for. Not to speak of, not any proper rain. I just can't remember the last time I had proper rain. It's just been a bit drizzle here and a bit drizzle there. It's all we've had. But anyway, our well is suffering. We have to keep topping up from the spring, and the spring is still running just. So, so we're not going to dehydrate just yet. Good advice, thanks. My neighbour said that, and said he would do it. Oh, that's cool. I'll kick his ass. I'm going to clock off in a second because I've been doing it over 2 hours. I'm hoping to be able to do some more live streams, but I don't know if I can actually keep up that for much longer. To be honest, the channel's been really suffering at the moment. I'm really struggling getting views, and it's a bit kind of not very inspiring. So I'm going to go back down to 1 video a day probably at the moment, maybe some shorts in there as well. And also cut down on the lives because the lives aren't the problem with the lives. You see that they have no very few people click on the live afterwards. We've got 37 people here at the minute, but very few people click on them after the actual show. In fact, in some cases, I've been deleting them, or they've been deleted for me because not deleted, but they've been demonetized because I've used video clips and stuff off Twitter and stuff like that, and they've been claimed. And so then you lose anything you got on them basically. So it's not very handy. So it's not very inspiring. And also, YouTube is going a bit silly buggers in November. They are not basically where I tried to make sure my videos have no mid-roll ads. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I'll have the control over them come November. I can't remember which day it was, but it's in November. I got an email, I got an email. Actually, I'll see if I find it. This will be every YouTube channel. It's not just with this one, it's all YouTube channels. And the thing about it is, it's I think it's going to make it harder to get views. I think people click off when the adverts come on, in many cases. Bear with us. I'll try and find it now. AI. Not that one. Where is it? Oh, I've got to find it now. Crappy the clown. YouTube. I'm looking for one that isn't highlighted because I've already read it. Hang on, didn't I actually? Hang on, I think I print screened it. When did I print screen that? Capture, not that one. I did print screen it. No, I print screened it on my phone, didn't I? Damn it. It's fine. Let's do a search. YouTube. It's changes to the policy regarding regarding adverts. Itinerary, no. Oh, I can't find it now. Meet our creators. I don't want to. New comment. Not that one. What about ads? I have found it. Okay. There's nothing on there that's naughty. Probably not supposed to do this, but so what? Alright. Everyone's would have got this. So, later this year, we're updating ad controls in YouTube Studio to extend best practices and optimize creators' earnings. That is bollocks. To simplify pre-roll, post-roll, skippable and non-skippable ad controls on long-form videos. It's obviously not shorts because they're monetized differently. Start November, we're optimizing creator revenue. There's no way it's going to optimize creator. It's all going to be done via AI. Basic AI is going to decide what is going to show, what's not, and when it's going to show. What they consider that the optimum place to put it. End of the day, no one likes adverts, and the only way you're going to get away with this is actually, I suppose, YouTube membership. I suppose YouTube membership when you subscribe to YouTube, you know. On newly uploaded videos going forward, when creators turn ads on, viewers may see any of these ad formats, whether it be pre-roll, post-roll, skippable, or non-skippable ads. As we currently do today, YouTube will utilise many factors to determine when viewers will see these types of ads to both maximise revenue and ensure positive viewing experience. And these factors include the amount of time viewers are exposed to ads and the number of times an ad interrupts the video they are watching. Why we're making these changes? To make more money. It's flipping obvious. Isn't he? Buddha boy. Okay. There it is, Buddha boy. It's working now. I tried Buddha boy yesterday, but it didn't work. It's broken. Buddha boy's broken. He's a bit dizzy. Sharkade. Stream on 2 channels simultaneously. One for visuals, demonetized, and this one, chatting as you are. The problem is I haven't got enough people watching on other channels. Corporate crap. Yes, number 3. That is. It's about making more money. That's all it is. That'll just ruin the viewer's experience, is all I like to see there. They're trying to make out it's in everybody's best interest, but of course it's not. It's in their best interest. They want to show more adverts. They want more. Well, you see, there's only a certain amount of people using YouTube at any one time, so they want to better spread it, you know, the money, or better earn as much money as they can from as many people as they possibly can, don't they? And yes, you could argue if, for instance, if people aren't bothered by the adverts because they're used to them or what have you, and they carry on watching the videos and what have you, well, I could be better off. But I could have been doing that ages ago if I wanted to. I've always decided not to do it because it just ruins the viewer's experience. Now, especially if I'm doing, like, for instance, if you're doing videos like, sort of well-being type videos, anything like that, you don't want any breaks in them. It just makes them daft. Doesn't make sense to me. Oh, Mad Monk be gutted. You missed the Buddha ball. Yeah, I know. FY, I used to get these at Christmas as a kid. I used to get these, what? Oh, down. Greed, says Doc Davies. Yep, it is greed. They're doing everything they can to make more money. They do provide is a marvellous platform, and they are investing heavily in it. But I refuse to look, says number 3. Shorten the videos to 5 minutes or so. I don't always have time to listen to voice. Yeah, I have got short videos on there as well, shorter videos. If I edit my videos, which I don't really have time to do, if you're doing daily videos and you've got to edit them, it's not really feasible. It isn't. But I know what I was doing before. When I was putting loads of videos up, I was putting too much stuff on. And one video then works against the previous video you just put up, so it kind of works against it. Because I've seen so many people they can show the videos to, isn't there? You know, I mean, who'd be interested? So, yeah. So something's about topics and stuff like that as well. Some current topics. Also, I believe that people with Brexit are very becoming more and more disinterested, and the negativity of it all, because it's all going a bit peak-tong, isn't it? And not everybody wants to feel like shit all the while. Obviously, you would, really. Oh, hang on, what's this? I heard from other YouTubes about the ads getting forced on you. Yep. Yeah. Hello, Adstam. I hope you're well, friend. Yeah, they are. And I think it's a shame. I think it's going to ruin the experience for many people. I understand they've got to have ads. You know, they've got to make money from somewhere, haven't they? But, yeah. Adverts are torture. They are. And especially when you can't click past them. See, for me, when I don't always watch YouTube. I listen to YouTube. If I'm in the workshop, I might have my headphones on, or I might have it on going in the workshop. I'm not watching it because I'm doing stuff. So I tend to go for channels that I'm interested in, and it's really more voice. I don't need to see. Like, if you go on YouTube, there's a guy I follow called Nick Nimmin. He's ever so good. And I like his live streams and stuff. He does a lot of live streams, and he's a really helpful guy. And I often speak to him on Twitter and that. And he's in Singapore or Philippines. He's in the Philippines. And anyway, he's more of a podcast, really, than a video. Yes, he's there and he's talking, you can see him and stuff. But there isn't anything really to see. It's just what he's saying, because he's answering people's questions and stuff. And it's interesting, so I don't watch it. To have a raw advert come up in the middle of it, I've got to stop what I'm doing. I've got to go over to the computer or my device or whatever, and then I've got to click past it or watch it until it's done its thing. I don't want to do that. It's just annoying. Okay, you say, okay, why didn't you subscribe to YouTube? I can't afford to, and many people can't. I've got other things I have to pay for, and there's other things I want to consider paying for as well. And it's YouTube is not actually, so it doesn't as a creator, it doesn't give me anything being a member. You're subscribing to the actual YouTube itself. Nothing at all apart from removing adverts. Yeah. Adverts are the way aliens think. I think that it's actually about advertising. And if you have used to advertising, like for instance, the billboards and paper advertising, magazines and all that sort of stuff, do you realise it's actually dearer now to advertise, including inflation and whatever, it's dearer now to advertise in these places, these media sources, than it was back then, even accounting for inflation. When we've got all these other forms of marketing, such as Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook Reels and all this sort of stuff. All these ways of promoting business, and yet they're still doing paper. Who looks at this stuff? You know, we know the readership is going down in the newspapers, don't we? So I just, it seems a bit kind of like dead money. I hit mute instantly when ads come on YouTube, a bit like when Johnson was PM and the guy and came on TV. I wore out my TV mute button when he was haunting number 10. Says the figure. Very good. My channel won't have adverts. I don't need them, fortunately. Yeah. Well, you probably you're not monetized. You need well, actually, they're reduced now. It used to be 1,000 subscribers to be able to monetize your channel and 4,000 watch time hours. They've actually reduced. They've done it in stages now, where you've got 500 subscribers, but you still need the watch time. So yeah, but it's a cut down version. Once you get 1,000 subscribers, you can go full on monetization. The monetization, you need views, and I mean, you need a lot of views. You literally get, depending on the CPM, changes depending on what area you're in, depends on the businesses and the adverts. But you generally get about a $1 for every 1,000. Sometimes, some place you might get $2 for every 1,000 views. So you're gonna have a lot of flipping views, you know. And this channel does nowhere near as well as it did at the beginning. Nowhere near. And I sometimes wonder why I do it. Honestly, I really do. You know, because there are costs involved as well. You know, I've invested quite a bit of money to do this, and it's like you think, crikey, I'm not. You know, get a quid if you're lucky. And then a lot of my videos don't do well anyway. I think my video today's done okay, but even then, I wouldn't have earned much. I earned $5 or something, you know. Well, crikey. There's only like memberships and stuff like that here, and also a Patreon and occasional buy me a coffee. It's quite a rare occasion, but it's because I could be spending my time elsewhere. I spend a lot of time on this, too much time, and then, you know, the missus gets a bit annoyed about it, you know, because I could be earning money elsewhere. You know, the silly thing is, when I was before I started doing this YouTube channel, I was doing a lot of blog writing, what have you, regarding woodworking and stuff like that, and I was doing all right at it because I was just, you know, there was affiliate links to Amazon products and stuff like that. Because I was talking about stuff. If it were woodworking, it'd be tools and stuff. You put in some links to the products, just text links and stuff like that, and it was bringing in some money, which was quite handy, and it was growing, which was quite good. It's gone stagnant, but it's still bringing in money. I'm not doing anything with it, and it still brings in, not a lot, but it brings a bit of money every month. I think to myself, crikey, what if I carried on with that? Passive income. You know? It made much more sense. The amount of effort you put into YouTube, unless you're really good at it, I'm not really good at it. Unless you're really good at YouTube, you know, or have the knowledge base, you know, for all my feelings about people like Phil Morehouse and what have you, I can't get away from the fact he's a very knowledgeable chap, you know, and people seem to like what he does, you know. So, you know, not everybody gets me. They don't. So I understand that. I don't get me sometimes, but as a result, it just it never kind of, it's not really. It did really well at the beginning. The channel did really well, and grew really rapidly. But my flipping hell, my subscribers have gone down to 122 a month now. I know that subscribers don't really mean a lot, to be honest. But you still expect to get through. You know what I mean? I was getting near 1,000 near the beginning a month. I think I just didn't quite make 1,000. I think 990 something or other was my best month on subscribers. This month about 122. 122. It's crazy. So you do wonder, you know. But then again, it's I know it's because of me. I'm not good enough. I get that. I'm too sporadic. I'm all over the place. So not everybody wants that. The thing is, you see, I might get one video I put up and it does well, and then I'll put a different type of video up, and that person who might subscribe on the basis of that video. They're not interested in that video, then they unsubscribe. And I see that quite a bit. But there you go. It's one of them things. Anyway, where was I? Oh, Alistair. Oh, cheers, buddy. It's some fun. Cheers. Thank you. I will never be popular. That's my fate, says number 3. It's not about being popular. I just want to be... Being popular is... Being popular, is that a measure of success? I don't think it is. I want to be helpful. I want to be useful. I want to provide something. I want to be a bit of fun, what have you, or a bit of information, or just my take on things. I want to be helpful, if that makes any sense. I've always been that way. You know, in the woodwork and stuff like that, I've always been the one that helping somebody do something. And I get used if I say it, to be honest, but that's just what I used to do. So YouTube give one of my videos an advert, and I just have 25 subscribers, says Casper Northerner. There's plenty of silver in old school electronics via the solder. That's a good point, there is. Scrolling down. I have a door sign order for you. Oh, cool. I'll send you details via Dodo. OX. Okay, my friend. We can do that. Jim talks out. I offered you 50. Yeah, but that'd be fun. You want me to torture myself for 50 quid to eat bugs? I'm not eating Dories. Oh, was that an anus? Oh, something like that. I'm not eating anus. Definitely not. I think once the Tories lose power, a lot of channels are making revenue from politics will drop away. Yeah, I think you're right, Victor. I think it's going to be a dying trend. There'll still be a few out there that hang on. You're going to get the Phil Morehouse trying to justify the Labour Party and the crap that they're doing to make Brexit work. You're still going to get that, aren't you? You're still going to get Graham, who's doing exactly the same thing, trying to justify Labour. Labour at any cost, it seems to me. My fear is Labour will get in, and then people will realise, oh, it's not quite what I wanted. Just want to get Tories out. Another protest vote, isn't it? That's what I think. And then when it comes down to the next general election, they'll fall to the wayside. I think they might still get in, but I think they'll fall to the wayside, and they won't have as much support. Doc Davies says, I have 2 subscribers. Well, it's better than none. Jim Toy. Oh, yeah, a cockroach once, says number 3. Really stoned at the time, that's what he'd have to be. An olive in a pizza that turned out to be a crunchy sweet. Oh, lovely. Molly. Maybe you changed your what? Maybe you changed your deodorant. That happened to me once. I smell different. What? What's that about? I was browsing on YouTube last week and I found a channel of a robot mower. Just a stupid robot mower with a camera on it. Almost 600,000 members. Really? So that's a passive income, isn't it? It's just like, you just leave it to it. What's he doing? Streaming it? He's streaming his robo mower? Some people would love that sort of stuff. Just look it up. It's nuts. It's a bit like, that's the thing about like short form content, like YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Reels. Well, not Reels so much because that's ridiculous. But anyway, you constantly scroll up to think, before you know it, you lost an hour of your time. No wonder nothing gets done. My friend had a Staffordshire Terrier pit bull for a short, and it could clear the room. Obviously, it farted. Cockroach, lovely. I may do a video about UFOs soon. Not political, because you sent me that video, didn't you? That's quite interesting. That was. I know. It's a bit strange as well. Some people are odd. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Do build videos, Marcus. Yep, could do that. I was talking to Mrs. about this actually. I want to do more videos with my Waddy Bar channel, my woodworking channel. I've put a few up recently actually, but just quick ones. But I want to make a coracle, just like a little boat. A coracle, right? But it's more of a modern version of a coracle, as in made properly, not out of twigs. I'll show you what a coracle is. Ted Ellis comes to mind. Images. Like these are coracles. There you go. They're what coracles are. Little boats, like a little round boat. I'd make an oval version, a bit like a shell, like a turtle. Because you can actually carry these on your back. Oh yeah, they are over there, like that, carrying on the back there. I thought we'd do a build video of one of those in the workshop, but make it with actual strip wood, you know, all planed and nice and stuff. Need someone like Boris Johnson maybe to for the covering. Oh, he streamed it. Oh, that's quite a good idea, isn't it? Raw meat with vodka was the weirdest meal I have ever had. I suppose you could put the camera. I suppose you must put the phone on and stream directly from the phone. Because I don't think you can't stream from my sports camera. So yeah, excellent idea. Let's do it. Yeah, I think I probably will. With a boat in his cellar. That should be the new Gibbs from NCIS with a boat in his cellar. Yeah, I'm a boat builder, you know, woodworking boat builder. My dad was a boat builder. Galaxy Fur, hello there. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Okay, it's obviously referencing my previous video. About how the US seems to be been indoctrinated by metric. Come over from Ireland in coracles. What? That sounds dodgy. Don't do that. Yeah, they're not freeboarding them. No, and they look like they rock quite easily. Yeah. The reason why I want to build one is because here we've got lots of little shallow streams and stuff here, you see. With not a lot of water, basically. Something like that, you can just get out of the boat and just literally just drag it where you need to. If it's too shallow, pull it over the weirs and what have you, and do the next stretch. The only worry is I don't know how great it will be going because the water's running in one direction effectively, because these are basically all stream-fed, you know, spring-fed rivers. So the water's all flowing in one direction out to sea. So actually paddling against it might be interesting. Now, originally you'd be doing a thing called sculling. It's like figure eight, easy sculling, you know, boat. Actually, there you go. There he is. That's him sculling. Yeah, that's sculling. It's what single paddle, and you do it's a figure of eight. Yeah, it's a funny little thing. That was rather nice. Yeah, I'll do 3 projects in the workshop. I've been concentrating trying to get the workshop all sorted out. Since I did a couple of jobs recently, it was obviously in a bit of a mess. But also, I need to get ready again for doing videos in there. So yeah, we're going to be doing more of that. Hello, Alan Hat. The wood for coracles is split rather than cut to maximise the strength and maximise the weight. Yeah, but the thing is how you actually build a coracle. I wonder how I can traditionally build a coracle. I'm going to find you a picture. It's done on the ground upside down. And you literally split them like hazel along the grain and clean them up, what have you, with a draw knife. And then you bend them over and stick them in the ground. So, for instance, if you've got, I don't know, say 6 ribs, you bend them around, stick them in the ground. So you get all these hoops, you see. And then you start lashing in the other ones that do exactly the same. And then you get your gunnels. You put your gunnels around. So then you're lashing all your gunnels around. So it's all upside down on the ground, stuck in the ground. And then you prise it out of the ground and you end up with like an upside down frame with all these sticks sticking out. And you cut them all off. And then they basically put your hide around it, or whatever you're going to use as a covering. Probably some form of canvas, I imagine. Make more sense. Once I show you that on here. My father used to mess about with Ted Ellis when he was a boy. Ted Ellis was obviously a man then. He's got, you know, he was old then, to be fair. But Ted Ellis was a lovely, lovely guy. This sort of gives you a little idea. If you do it traditionally, you can see all the little sticks poking out the top of the actual coracle, and it's covered in this canvas like so. But yeah. There's a guy on YouTube called Ivanka. Ivanka Makes or something. He's a Russian guy. I think he works in insurance or finance or something. But anyway, he's got somewhere he can go to do what he wants to do. And he made a canoe. They covered it in cling film. Literally, he's going down these rapids in this canoe. It's covered it, covering it's all that stick canoe covered in cling film. So I thought it was quite interesting, but scary at the same time. A kayak. I've built kayaks before. Kayaks have got decks. I want something I can get in and out of easy. I've got kayaks here already. Or boats. A boat build would be interesting. Well, I've made all sorts of boats in the past. Even a little punt would be quite good. Something that don't draw a lot of water. I think concentrate on life as if there was no internet. Can't guarantee it'll always be like this. That is a really valid point. What would happen if all of a sudden everything was turned off? Giant EMP pulse, electric magnetic pulse, wiped out all electronics. What would you do? What would you do? I would struggle. I admit I would, because I spend a lot of time online, obviously, But equally, I also get a lot of find a lot of solace in the environment, but also making things. I like making shit. I really do. Been doing it all my life, and now I sort of do it for me, an occasional customer. I'm not accurate, Larry. Thanks, my friend, for being there. Thank you. Off the bed, fighting a headache last 2 days. Oh no, don't do it. Phil has so many, I have to skip some. Phil has... Oh, do you mean his videos? Is he doing 3 a day again now, or is he sort of doing 1 a day? I know they do that morning thing, which I've never watched. I briefly watched it. Wasn't in the morning. That was on when Max was on, and that really pissed me off. Because I felt that was... I know none of us own the space on the internet, but I just think it was a moral thing to do to actually look after the people who's on the same song sheet. That really annoyed me. I did actually make a video about it, and I decided not to put it up. My mum taught me to craft bows. I can do it too. Traps and use a knife, a bow and an axe, and I would be all right. Yeah. I've made bows. I've made axes. I've forged an axe head. That was interesting. I did do it. I did it with a friend who's got furnace, an old furnace, really old one, like big old bellows. It's quite cool. 12 miles is the shortest distance from Ireland. I don't know if I want to do it in a coracle. No. I've sailed the seas, across the channel, what have you, several times, and it can be extremely dangerous. Extreme. It's bad enough it's busy with other traffic, such as big old lines. When you're in like a 20-30 foot boat, it can be quite scary. You're down there and they're up there, and they're waves. Oh my god, they're wash. Throw you about, it does, I tell you. Great little boat there was the old Colvick Watsons. They bob about like crazy, make you feel sick, but they generally stay the right way up, which is a good idea of a boat. Galaxy First says, I would shrivel up like a raisin and die without electronics. That's what he says. Yeah. I devised an impromptu space D&D scenario once, featuring the people of the planet Vega, cannibals by reputation. Calling someone you recently met in person for the first time serendipitously, and hearing their name being called up the stair. What's the time anyway? Oh my god, it's midnight. Just past midnight. My mind is wandering again, says Joel. I think I am, as it's a bit of a random chat now. Concentrate on life as there was no in there. I kind of agree with you. I think we all become too, not necessarily obsessed with it, but I think we've been too controlled by it. And we're very lax with our security. We really are. We sign up to things without reading it, thinking, privacy notice, for instance. That video of the car manufacturers have written into the privacy notices that they can basically use your sexual information, data, your sex data. They're recording everything you do. Ooh, that's saucy. Parachuters are fast food for cannibals. Probably. Where are we now? Down we come. Oh, sorry. I often wondered if the Germans could have crossed the channel in barges during World War II. I bet most would have sunk. Probably. Vegans! No! My wife's a vegetarian. I was actually a vegetarian for 5 years. And I smell bacon. Oh, interesting. Oh, I see, just saying. So since I got this notification from YouTube because they're removing my ability to stop the ads mid-roll in the videos, you're now getting more suggestions or more, join YouTube. Yeah. Is that what they're after? Maybe. COVID is still taking people out with that new strain now, isn't there? So it's very worrying. And then you got long COVID. Long COVID is so serious. It really is. It makes people so weak. Quite frightening. This summer, I did not do it because it was so hot and a fire hazard. But I often disappear into the bush with a canteen, some food, and my knife. Does she mind? It's surprising the amount of thinking you can do alone without a quick Joe. Do you know what? You know my little space I have where I sit out there in front of my shack and sometimes do videos there, don't I? And I just sit there and contemplate. Sometimes I have a little dry whiteboard beside me, a little small dry whiteboard. And something comes into my head, I'll just scribble it down, little ideas and stuff. And it's quiet, kind of on your own. It's got a lovely view. Looking down into the valley and what have you, and birds and stuff. And it's just nice, it's a bit of escapism, isn't it? The moment I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is pick this up. I pick that up, yeah. See if anyone's looked at my video. Then see, what's the news? What's happened? Has everything happened this morning? And it's the first thing you do every single morning. And you end up getting in this bit of a rat race, and it's not good for the head. It's really not good for the head. And that thing was, this is with, okay, I used to make some of the videos as well, to be fair, hence that weird kind of sun thing on there that I glued on there. Yeah. And I did try using the microphones on the phone, but they're rubbish. Hence a little muff on there. But it's just glued to them. It's not, for some, it's not healthy. We'll end up with dry eye syndrome because I've got dry eye syndrome, and it's not fun. And it's basically your eyes dry out because you don't blink when you stare at stuff. Generally, not as much. You don't blink as much. So you don't lubricate your eyes. So I have to use drops, which I did have some a minute ago. I'll probably knock it off somewhere. But anyway, yeah, eye drops. The algorithm is holy, says Doc Davies. Is it? Got holes in it. No. It's the sponsored bits that I don't like. It's intrusive. What are the sponsored bits? Like what sponsored ads and what have you? Crafty What's It is in trouble, is he? What's he been doing now then? Oh my Gideon, have you seen the other one off GB News? Have anyone seen this? God, I have to show you this. This is funny. Okay, you probably can hear it there. Let me just put that on there so I can show you. Oh, Gideon. There you go. GB News for it. Have a bit of GB News.
First, it's the news headlines. No, it's not. We're going straight to me. This is breaking news. It's fast happening. Because as we just said, with the terror man... it's all gone wrong. It's here. Chip Chapman, we have him coming up soon on the arrest of the terror suspect. He escaped from Wandsworth Prison and he's been apprehended. It's all coming up in GB News. We've got our first guest. Here it is. Police have escaped, have arrested prisoner Daniel Khalif. Beg your pardon, we're getting the audio in the right place. This story is just happening. Joining me now for the latest is GB News Home Security editor Mark White. Are you there, Mark? It's Chip Chapman. We have Chip Chapman, Army for the Army and former head of counter-terrorism, Major General Chip Chapman. Chip, dramatic. First, it's the news headlines. No, it's...
Oh dear. Right. Well, back we go. Right, where are we? Chat. And then go sign off in a minute. Oh, night number 3. Take care, my friend. Do people actually watch this GB News? I know. As a friend of mine, JC, he put it together, but the actual clip itself was literally him stumbling and muttering, and he got in such a tongue tie. He really did, and almost swore. So. But were the barges actually seaworthy? No, I doubt it as well. Barge is just a barge, although the old Dutch barges were seaworthy. I received no texts or calls. I changed my number. Best way. I'm off to bed, said Zebedee. Take it, number 3. Number 3, if they got air superiority over the channel, plus a naval superiority too. Those buzz bombs. I'll tell you what though, if oh crikey, what's it called? What's it called? There's a place in France where the Nazis, the Germans had were launching the buzz bombs from. They had there's a big bunker, big dome, and in there they're doing the V2 bomb, which is basically like a missile. And that if they got that, they could launch one. If they managed to finish that before the roof got blown off it, they'd launch one in every 30 minutes. Now, I've been around that place. It's like a series of tunnels and stuff. You know, quite amazing. There's a lot of expeditions and what have you in there now. Expos. Oh, crikey, it's Cabo. Oh, I'll come to you in a minute. Anyway, it's northern France. And, yeah, it's a really interesting place. A really interesting place to look around. And, crikey, I think that'd been it. If they got that place online fully, I think that'd been it. Frightening what they had in mind there. You know, the whole production line of building these missiles and launching them, and then every 30 minutes. I'd be pretty impressed with the buzz bombs, wouldn't it? You know, our pulse jets. There we go. Gaslight your bollocks. That's what it is. That certainly is. It's all. I do watch it sometimes, not live, but on the clips and stuff because it's funny. It's just so ridiculous. And it's, like I said earlier, sometimes you've got to chew on what you disagree with. Well, I think we're going to be signing off now because it's now 12:15. Me here in France, and I'm feeling like I'm going to start. Feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my bones that I'm fucking knackered. And I'm slurring my words. That's kind of what I'm doing. Fun fact, the US is sending in ships to the Black Sea and will run naval drills with the Ukrainian and others to send Whoa. That's interesting. Is that actual fact? Is that actually going to be happening, Galaxy Fair? They said that. Because that would potentially instigate retaliation, obviously. Because Russia's already said that they will attack whatever goes in there, haven't they? Gavin bullshit, GB News, says Alistair. Oh, yeah, it is, my friend. you people actually watch this? Oh, thanks, Beatles, for moderating. Everybody should be moderating as well. Do appreciate it. Evil Destruction, Barry Maguire, good tune. I've got a subscriber called Barry Maguire. Oh, see, that's of course. All right, okay. Well, we're going to call that it. Because, like I say, I am shattered. I've been doing it for now 2 hours 46 minutes. Crazy. Funny old hour that was, wasn't it? Anyway, it's nice chatting and that, but I really need to go to bed. So I'm going to say ta-ta, you know. What can I leave you with? What's actually working now? That's a good point. I ain't got the other stuff on there yet. Oh, my giddy aunt. I keep forgetting stuff. Well, Beans, we talked about dogs that have been sick. Not sick. Farting dogs. But... I could do a medley, I suppose. Let's start with that's short. Oh, I don't know. Off running. Maybe that one.
Kipper. This kipper, which has been presented to me just now by the editor of a national newspaper, who received it from a kipper smoker in the Isle of Man, who is utterly furious because after decades of sending kippers like this through the post, he has had his costs massively increased by Brussels bureaucrats who have insisted that each kipper must be accompanied by a plastic ice pillow. Pointless, expensive, environmentally damaging elfin safety.
The case described by Mr. Johnson falls outside the scope of the EU legislation, and it's purely a UK national competence.
But the structural reforms that we're about to deliver include the Brexit Freedoms Bill. The Brexit Freedoms Bill is a fantastic piece of legislation, defining constitutional piece of legislation that will remove the dead hand of EU laws from our statute book finally. There are over 2,400 EU laws that will be amended or repealed.